Welcome to Seven-Sided Die's Carpathian Adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire. Holy Roman Empire battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Zyman Val. I've ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an Eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I'm Aldrick, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Borinth, the cave bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the Champions of the Sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect, and, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure.
Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, others are in construction, still others are retail managers, a few are in IT. We're parents, students, etc., so we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one. We would like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch, please like on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, please subscribe on YouTube. Not sure, it's like 350 something subscribers on YouTube. Awesome, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, every one of you. If during the stream you follow on Twitch or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. During the stream, some of us are watching it. I've got a different pad behind here today so I can actually see the chat a little bit better. Some of us are watching Twitch. Please feel free to comment or ask questions while live. We will endeavor to answer them if they are appropriate and if we have the time. To all of our subscribers, thank you. What's going on in the campaign? The party is gathering strength and allies to defeat the powerful vampire named Bayuk Osman Ghazi. In their effort to do so, they're collecting parts to create a powerful magical weapon. Their quest led them to Schloss Kyburg in the Swiss canton of Schwyz. A series of battles and a siege later, they acquired the Heilige Lanze, or the Lancehead, from the Spear of Destiny. Searching for another way out of the castle, Aldrick and Kartra explored tunnels and caves under the castle. They too were separated in the caverns. Both attacked and Kartra did not return. The siege lifted. The party decided to go looking for her, exploring the same tunnels and caves. In a massive cavern, they stumbled upon a vein of unusual glowing ore. In the same cavern and below the near end of the remnants of the rope bridge, they found a crumpled remains of a corpse. From the armor, a hammer, and a shock of red hair, they could tell that they had found Kartra. At least they knew the fate that had befallen her. Mattias and Borinth bundled up Kartra's remains in Zymon's cape. Zymon magically flew to the other side of the cavern to cut the rope bridge so the party could use the rope to climb out. On the opposite side, he encountered Aldrick. Balder and Mikulash returned to the unusual glowing ore to harvest some. Separated, the three groups were attacked. Borinth and Mattias by a huge animated stalagmite. Zymon and Aldrick by flying rats with long protuberances. And Balder and Mikulash by a pack of stone wolves. While Borinth beat on the stalagmite, Mattias rode it down with his lance. Aldrick skewed many a flying rat, and Zymon blasted others. Mikulash dodged, ducked, dipped, dived, and damaged the wolves. Anybody pick up on that? And Balder smashed others, but there were too many. Balder went down. Borinth and Mattias were quickly on the scene and saved the day. Battered from their encounter, with some of the glowing ore in hand, rather than return to Schloss Kyburg, the party followed Aldrick out via a more expeditious route that he had previously discovered. Exiting the caverns, the party found themselves on the west-facing side of a mountain overlooking a huge pine-wooded valley between two sets of tall mountain ranges. Descending the mountain face to the valley below, they entered the woods and eventually came upon a stream that flowed north. Turning right or north and following the stream, the terrain descended and the stream widened. While there was still light, through the trees the party could note towering Alps mountains on either side of the valley. Continuing on near a waterfall, they found a small mountain clearing. The location was picturesque, if not serene. The party decided this is where Kartra would be laid to rest. Building a fire, the party set her remains alight, and each said goodbye in their own way. In Kartra's adventurer's pack, they found several potions and one to heal Mattias's damaged eye. As they did, Mattias seemed touched by Kartra as a wisp of smoke briefly enveloped him and then quickly dissipated. With his vision restored, his black hair also slightly changed color, gaining a bluish hue. As the flames of the fire reduced themselves to embers, Borinth contemplatively wandered off into the darkness, and the party bedded down for the night. It is dark. The stars not blocked by the towering mountains and huge pines glint directly overhead. Still in the lower Alps, it is cold, with the sound of rushing water by the nearby waterfall. In a small, picturesque clearing, we rejoin the party. Welcome back, guys. A little bit of a test for anybody watching to see if the cameras freeze. I apologize up front. So right now they're not frozen. So far so good. So welcome. Before we go anywhere, let me just go around real quick. I should have done this at the top of the break before we came on. Jess, current hit points?
92.
92. And spells?
2 first, 1 second, 1 third, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, and 1 sixth.
Okay, awesome. Ryan's not here yet. Joe, Aldrick's current hit points.
Current hit points 80.
80.
2 4th level spells.
2 4th level spells. What? I'm looking, I'm like, what did I miss here? Chris.
Where did you find those? Give them to me.
Chris, I'm tracking, you bumped 1 key point, so you should be at 1, correct?
Correct.
And what's your new hit points?
It would be the max, wouldn't it? It would be...
Well, I don't know. Would you roll max? Awesome.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out...
Would you...
If I leveled up, I would get max HP points? I would be back to full, you're saying?
No, didn't you level up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so whatever you were at, what is your new max? Whatever your previous max was, what is your new max, and what is your current?
So I'm at 8, and I was at 46 plus average roll, so 5, so it'd be 51 max.
51 is max, so you're currently at 8?
Correct.
But you would, the bump,
add the 5.
you add the bump.
Oh, so then I'd be at 13. Thank you.
13
Okay, so you're at 13. So your max is 51, your current is 13. Ryan is not here. Reiner, what is your current hit points?
My current hit points are 31.
31. Okay. You guys, it is dark. It is cold. Are you, you don't, it's up to you. Are you setting up a watch? What are you doing?
Might as well watch, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea. I usually don't take watch because I really like sleep.
Do you like to sleep?
Yeah, I really like to sleep.
I could take a watch.
You can take a watch. I'll take a watch.
Okay. Who's on first watch?
I'll go for
You
myself.
want first watch? Okay.
Yes.
You got it.
Mikolash. Mikolash, it is cold. You guys, do you build up the fire at all, or you just leave it, let it die, and you sit there in the cold?
Well, we'd have a separate campfire than the funeral.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Fire.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't hear you guys say you built one. Okay, but okay. There you go. Pulled a campfire.
There
Well, turned over and burned out. Okay, roll a con check. There to stay awake, Mikolash.
18 plus 1, 19.
You're good. And nothing happens on your first watch. Who's on second watch?
I'll take second.
Second. Mikolash wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's cold. He's put a couple logs on the fire. The funeral pyre has died down. It's just ash at this point. Perhaps some lumps of ash, if you will, but ash nonetheless. And you're on second watch. Go ahead and roll to stay awake there, boss.
Was that again, con?
Yes, please.
11.
11. You start to doze off ever so slightly, but you shake yourself awake. You pick up some snow or something like that and kind of rub it in your face. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And you manage to plow through it. Mattias, are you on last watch, I'm assuming?
I'll take it, yeah.
Okay.
Not taking it.
Aldrick comes over, wakes you up, and says, "Hey, Tin Man," or whatever he says. You're up. Then,
Okay then.
okay, roll me a con check, please.
Con check. Okay, you got it. So, my constitution is +3. And that's not a saving throw, so that's just a regular con check. And dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You're like wide awake for some reason. It's almost like you took a caffeine pill. It's just you watch that gray part of the morning, the beginning of morning nautical twilight, or rather not nautical twilight. beginning of morning out of the twilight is that gray mark before the sun comes up. It's got that kind of gross hue to it, grayish hue. And your party, you go around and wake them, or what do you do?
Wake me up!
Yeah, I'll wake him up then.
Okay.
So nice.
It's going to be a long night.
I mean, if you're gonna make breakfast before
I-
waking us up, that would be fine.
Sausage, please.
I missed something. It cut out for a second. And
Okay, got it. With that, you guys are all up. What are you guys doing? There's no sausages. Mattias didn't make any sausages. At least he didn't announce he did. There's nothing cooking there.
Probably ate all the sausages.
Boren took
I didn't know that I was the one. I didn't know that I was the one on food duty today.
all the unicorn meat, so we don't have any unicorn meat.
Maybe some roasted carrots?
What?
Okay.
You're not a fan of carrots?
I mean, they're good with.
It's better than nothing, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Steve? Besides rations?
No, I have rations.
Yeah.
I can't do chocolate. It's terrible for my stomach.
Yeah, I have some chocolate eyeballs, candy canes.
Probably also terrible for my stomach.
What is our goal going forward? We are supposed to go to France, or we have to go to...
Well,
We have some options ahead of us.
Balder sent the cart to Benelux.
Cart, yes, okay.
Hopefully we'll be able to retrieve it. It did have some of our belongings in it, I believe. I don't know how well he vetted those that he gave the cart to.
Probably not very well.
Probably not very well. We were also heading to Benelux because that was the origin of the barrels filled with bitumen that,
Yes, in the warehouse.
exploded,
Yes.
that caused the Great Fire.
I remember that. Somebody's sister's in France, correct?
I heard that, but I haven't heard that discussed much anymore.
Okay.
But there are... one of the popes is there. And I believe there are...
Not the true pope, though.
I guess it depends what side you're on.
Okay.
I mean, what side are you on?
On
I
my
mean,
side.
you're Italian. I
I'm on my
presume
side.
you're on Nicholas's side.
Yes.
That would make sense.
He's a paisan.
I believe so.
Yes.
And I believe there were some things in France that would help with the staff that we're trying to put together. One was like a power source, maybe, and there's another part of the riddle that talks about Guillaume's sins.
The riddle is from your new book? Or?
Yeah, from my book, from my manuscript, the one that helped lead us to the hide the lines
Benzo.
here.
The Benzo?
Yeah, Benzo, the book that Benzo helped me with. And Nicholas, I believe, told us about a Templar knight by the name of Guillaume. So it might have something to do with him, but how we can track him down if he's even still alive, or what the sin is that it alludes to, I do not know.
We're not going to Iceland or Norway anymore, are we? Wasn't there something of a troll in Iceland or Norway?
Yes, there's the troll.
Cathedral
Well,
or
that's
something?
more of Baldur's thing.
Oh, okay.
It's he had a vision once he got the hammer. So that is the troll. I think the troll might be able to help us with the lance as well.
Sounds kind of weird.
But also in that area is where the Teutons are, and they're the ones
Supposedly destroying the magic.
that are destroying magical and holy relics.
You probably don't want to go anywhere near there.
Well, as much as it frightens me to go there, because I may be able to do less, it does not bode well that they are doing these things. This needs to be stopped.
How do you feel about the magic being destroyed?
I feel the magic is a terrible thing. I see terribleness out of all of this magic that everyone weaves. It is shocking and appalling.
I had no idea.
It has been a terrible period of time for me. I've seen so much as of late.
Does this have something to do with the scar?
No, that's...
But that's something even worse?
That is my childhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm marked by many grave errors, and I hope this party is not one of them.
Well, no promises on that.
Hopefully not. But either way, I think our first course of action must be to get the cart. We can learn more in Benelux about what may be happening with the Teutons and the destruction of the materials. There may be somebody that's in league with them that is in direct work in Benelux. And the cart.
So France seems to be our destination.
In the short term.
Yes.
Speak more of the staff, please. I'm not sure what the purpose is.
So the staff that we are trying to assemble is supposedly the only device that may be able to destroy Ghazi. It seems to be made of several different artifacts. The first one Balder has, wherever he is, it's the spearhead that we got in exchange for the defense of the slosh. There seems to be another part that is a staff that may very well have been where I grew up all along. And then there is this third part known as Guillaume's sin, which I still have not been able to figure out. I believe that Guillaume's sin is maybe some way to bind the pieces together. And the last piece, there's some type of crystal or something that helps charge the staff so that it can fire. And then it takes men of great stature to wield the staff together and to use it, to fire it. The more men that are of sound mind and heart that use the weapon, the greater it will be. I think anywhere between two and 4 men.
The staff sounds like a priority. And this Ghazi, is this one not to be trifled with?
Oh no. The others have more stories than I do. I was not there at the beginning.
Nor I.
I agree the staff is a priority, but its pieces have remained safe for centuries. I'm not saying we should discount it by any means, but there may be other things that are more pressing and more essential to the final outcome.
Do we know, maybe Matthias knows this, do we know that Ghazi is aware of this weapon? Has any knowledge of it? You've been around
I don't know for certain. I don't recall exactly when the last time I heard anything from him was. It was a while ago, certainly. And even if he did know, he might not tell us.
Yeah,
Might be in his interest to keep us thinking that he wouldn't know, if he does.
he can be clever.
Yes, and he has sent men to hunt us down before, men that appeared out of thin air.
It is.
Dressed as if they had come out of the sands of Turkey.
They've jumped from the ground, correct? They've spring forth from beneath the surface.
I believe they're teleported from great distances.
Because
So surely he still has people following us, and surely those people know what we are looking for.
this is what I'm saying. It's
I have a feeling Klaus may have been one of them, but you never were able to really wrangle him down and get answers.
we are still far from Schloss Kuiper.
Yeah, if you want to go back, there's a chance to redeem yourself.
Maybe that's where Boren is right now.
No, you know Boren, he likes to go in the woods. He takes off all his clothes, he runs around,
All one part.
shouts as a bear, as a man.
My fear is that these artifacts are difficult to find as it is. It would be even worse if Ghazi also was pursuing them. I hope that's not the case.
It's very true.
At least you'd be surprised when we use this weapon on him.
Would we fear Ghazi and his men more than those destroying the magic that you spoke about? Which one would we fear more?
We don't know yet if those are two in the same.
We don't know if
Yes.
they're connected or disconnected. Both, I feel, would have great consequences for the world at large.
When we met with the Pope, Nicholas, he seemed more concerned with the Teutons than with Ghazi. He seemed to. He knew of Ghazi, but perhaps it was not.
It did seem that way. He has every right to be worried. They're destroying holy relics, as well as items imbued with magical power.
He's a mystery. So France it is, I suppose. Did Balder arrange to meet with these people and the court at a certain
I
spot?
believe he said wait in Benelux.
I don't know.
Whether they ever made it to Benelux, there was armies on the roads. Many times armies just usurp people's goods for themselves. So
Well, he's sleeping now and doesn't seem to be waking up at the time.
I'm going to
so-
say it's maybe not. But he was quite fond of it.
Well, he had painted it with
Yeah, he started painting it. Yeah,
his logo.
yeah, with the potions, the eyeball. Yeah,
Apothecary?
yeah.
I guess we make for Benelux then.
Do you know how to get there?
I don't know anything about Benelux. I know nothing outside of Venice, to be honest with you.
Matthias, do you know the way to Benelux?
Maybe.
That does not sound promising.
It's
I mean, France is towards the setting sun from where we are, right?
yes, it's for the west.
Okay, well, that's a good start, at least.
You're not from France, are you, by any chance?
Yeah.
No. I hail from Romania. A small village at that.
That's the other way, I think.
I believe so. Well, let's pack our things. You know, we should have gone back to the Schloss. We left our horses there.
I can vote to go back there if you
And
want.
now we have to walk. I prefer not to.
I don't want to go through that cave again. That was a terrible place.
I know the way around the mountains. I did that once before, up above the mountain.
Well, we've already traveled almost half a day to here from... Let's just press on.
Very good.
I hate the cold, to be honest.
Okay, you guys press onward. Good stuff. Matthias, there's an inspiration token there for you.
Thank you.
Overnight, it lightly snowed. It's not deep. The picture probably makes it look a little bit deeper than it probably is, and the road more pronounced than it probably is. But there is snow present. Sheltered by the trees and the mountains themselves, and from the sun, it's cold. You bundle up and you head out into the snow. Following the stream, at least initially, it's on your left-hand side. If you head north, I mean, you really can't head west without going straight into a mountain at the moment. So I assume you think for a moment, and you think, well, if we get north of the Alps, we'll be able to go left, right, or something like that.
And streams usually lead somewhere.
Out.
Well, out to a town, to at least a mill or something where we can get directions.
Following the stream, other streams descend from the mountains and join into it. The main stream widens as you continue. It becomes a small river after a while. There are chunks of ice in the water. Along the edges, the water, it's still cold, but it runs steady. Departing the mountains, as you continue north, by midday you depart the mountains, and the river has widened sufficiently that it's very clearly discernible as a river at this point. You come out of the mountains, and now it's rolling hills, some farms scattered around, clearly empty of their fruits post-winter. And the terrain is just rolling tall hills. Ahead, you see a dirt track comes into view. Do you follow it, or?
As well. Does it look
So we're on like a rough trail now?
No, you're just kind of blazing the path pretty much north, following along a stream.
Does it look well traveled?
It doesn't look well traveled yet, but it's the only trail you see. Or you could blaze cross country.
I am a little tired. Maybe they have some lunch.
Matthias?
Shall we see what is down the road?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Would you like to go down the road or continue traveling across the country? There's a small dirt path.
Personally, I think I think that following the road would be faster, but I would defer to the rest of the party.
Yeah, I think so. I think
agree.
getting us closer to civilization will get us closer to civilization.
Okay, then.
It'll also get us closer to civilization.
Picking up the dirt road, it generally heads north and perhaps slightly to the west, but mostly north. Light snow now, just flurries at this point. There's almost no snow having descended the mountains. There's almost no snow on the ground. It's not quite as cold as it's midday at this point. You continue on the dirt road. A little bit farther up, the dirt road starts to become much more well pronounced. You can start to see ruts in it, and there are other trails that seem to join into it. And then it continues off to the north, and it starts to bend slightly to the west as it continues to the north.
Oh, fortuitous. This was the way we wanted to go anyway.
Borinth Balder wakes from his stupor.
From his sleepwalking. He's been sleepwalking with us. Where are we?
We shaved your eyebrows while we were sleeping.
We are on the road, heading to Benelux to get your cart.
Yay! I missed that thing.
You just gave it a paint job, we were saying.
Oh yeah, and like terrible stuff or something. I don't remember that.
And we had a discussion about where to go next after Benelux, whether we should continue trying to find the pieces of the staff, or whether we should head to the Teutons and see what is going on with the destruction of magical and holy relics. But we may get answers to that in Benelux as well, because that's where
You know what occurred
the
to me?
bitumen came from.
Not that I really want to go to the Teutons first, but if they are destroying magical weapons, it occurred to me that they would have magic weapons there to be destroyed.
There may be stuff there.
And I thought the Teutons had a part of it.
Part of what?
The staff. Supposedly, or no.
Or was it something with the church?
I thought the troll
and
had
the-
a part of it.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Was it the charges for the staff that the Teutons might have?
Yeah. The or X or no of them, I believe. The diamonds, the crystals or whatever.
Yeah.
The dragon crystal.
But right now we're just heading to Benelux.
Okay.
Cool. Sans horses.
Yeah, without horses, because we left them all back at the schloss.
Okay, in the distance, you're on a dirt trail traveling through rolling terrain. In the distance, you see a small city straddling the wide river that you've been paralleling, now wide river. Parts of the town are surrounded by a low defensive wall with houses built in various locations. The two sides of the town straddling the river are joined by a bridge. The bridge itself looks ancient, like it was built by another culture a long time ago. As you approach the city, if you continue on, yes, no?
Yes.
You can. As you approach the city, the road becomes more defined at its edges. There's clearly ruts in the road. And then just at the edge of the city itself, the road is cobbled. You also note that you are on the side of the city that is not fortified. There are taverns and inns dotting the main road ahead of you. What are you guys doing? It's probably very late afternoon by this point.
Anybody on the road?
There's some people coming and going in the town, not really outside of the town itself, but you see some people going from structure to structure in the town itself. You can make out some activity.
If I'm within shouting distance, I'm going to ask, what town is this?
What language do you shout it in?
Shout it in German.
In German? And somebody shouts back, Steinam Rhine. Steinam Rhine. And this is what it looks like, albeit in black and white. It's not in black and white.
I'm not
Though everything
with
is.
this town, but it's Steinam.
I believe it means river crossing.
What river?
I don't know. You didn't ask that.
Oh, I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to be a tourist.
I think you've already pointed that out to him. All right, slowly head on in and
Steinam. Oh, maybe the Rhine River.
maybe.
Possible. I've heard
The
of that.
river.
Tavern?
Tavern.
As good as any.
It has been a while.
The last time we were in a tavern, there was an invisible vampire sitting in the rafters above us.
The last time I was in the tavern,
And that's
I woke
before
up-
I even had a drink.
I woke up in a Christmas nightmare,
Oh,
and this was terrifying.
Ay.
That wasn't the best time in a
and yet
tavern.
you've continued to stay by us. I am very curious.
I am a broken shell of the man I once was. But I'm here to fill that void.
I also learned.
You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and we will be right back. Okay, welcome back. Technology, it's trying to defeat us. I knew this was going to be a problem, as I said at the beginning, so we'll just try and grin and bear. Somebody commented there was an audio issue at the top. I did fix that as well. Thank you for the heads up, though, for the new cameras. The audio was feeding through the cameras via the HDMI cables, but I was able to fix that. So anyway, we're back in it. The party is outside of a small town, or a small city called Steinam Rhine, or at least that's what Aldrick was just told. What are you guys doing?
Headed to the tavern.
Okay, you walk down the main street. It becomes a cobbled road. There are nice Tudor-style houses with mud and daub between wooden frames, and some with slate and clay roofs. So it's not a poor city by any stretch of the imagination. You're on the one side of the city that is not fortified currently. Then there's a couple taverns. You see a few come immediately into view. There's one that says Das Brücken Gasthaus. There's a wooden sign hanging from an iron hanger that depicts the bridge you happen to see in the distance. Another one says, you glance off to the other side of the street, Der Schwarzwald. A wooden sign hanging again from another iron hanger depicts a mug superimposed on deep, dark pine trees. And the last one that you see readily in view is Der Römische Krieger. A wooden sign hanging from an iron hanger depicts an ancient warrior with a smile on his face, wearing banded armor and a helmet with a large red crest. His left hand rests on the pommel of a short broad sword. His right hand is raised in the air, holding a foaming mug of something.
That sounds like our kind of place.
Yeah, that one sounds good.
Which one do you go to?
Number 3.
Number 3, you go to Der Römische Krieger. Okay.
They all sounded good. Each one got better.
Yeah.
We'll do a bar crawl. Yeah.
Let's do a bar crawl.
Okay.
Yeah, whichever one's farthest across the bridge, because we're eventually going to go across the bridge, so we'll hit each one before we cross the
The
bridge.
first one didn't advertise alcohol, so we skip that one.
Skip that.
I just like the idea that by the time we cross the bridge, we just fall over into it.
Crawling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Con checks for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you enter the tavern. Let me see. It's late afternoon. It's that sun has not gone down, but you can tell that it doesn't have much longer in the sky at this point. There's a crowd already filling up inside the place. Not a huge crowd, but you could tell that this is winter time and there's probably not a lot else to do in this town other than perhaps drink at this time of year. So that's probably a reasonable facsimile of what it looks like inside. Relatively warm and inviting, dark wood. You went into the Römische Krieger. In the center of the room, as you walk in, the first thing you notice is there is a large slice or wedge, if you will, of a tough green pine tree sitting in the room. It is probably 5 feet around in diameter and about 4 feet high. There are a couple spikes pounded into it down to the flat of the head. A barkeep from across the room calls out, Guten Abend, wie geht's? Hello, how are you?
Dog,
What may I get for you? Have a seat. What will you have?
what is the special of the house?
Ah, the special. He glances you guys over. He probably thinks, oh, maybe they have some money. The special is the Hammerschlagen drink.
5.
5 the Hammerschlagens. 5 gold. Coming right up.
Pay the man.
You pay him, he brings over 5 mugs, drops them down on the table. That you guys go and grab a table someplace. And he drops it down on the table. And he goes, perhaps you'll play the game later when some others start to join in.
What's the game?
I like games.
The game is Hammerschlagen, of course.
Of course. He's my friend, Balder.
Balder.
Happy to give it a go.
Balder, yeah. Okay, so you guys drink?
Yes, sir.
Everybody roll a con check.
Yes.
A con save, rather.
Yes.
Here he save.
Con save.
Say it, boy.
6.
20, dirty.
16.
Strong 16.
Strong 16. Mattias,
Not a weak.
when you wake up, Mattias, roll a con save. Everybody but Balder takes -4 to all of their attributes. Balder, you have a -2.
Oh my god.
Minus how many? 4?
-4 to all of your attributes.
Wow.
But
Lower than a common peasant.
it is a wickedly good drink. It's got like this warm golden 22. You're -2 to all of your attributes. You drink down this foamy drink and it's golden warm and hits the stomach just right, and it makes you feel so good as you do. Of course, you feel a little bit stupider and less wise than you did a moment ago. You see some guys come over to the table and they drop down some money onto the huge wedge, and two of them reach up and grab a hammer off of the sill that has some words engraved upon it, and they pound it. There's a spike, and one of them holds it up, and the first one takes a swing at it, and then he continues to swing, pounding it into the hammer, or pounding it into the tree, as he's drinking at the same time. He pounds and then drinks, and then he pounds and then drinks, and then it takes him approximately 7 hits to get it all the way into the tree trunk, and he's kind of spinning around at this point. And the other individual takes his spike, and then he proceeds to like pound it in, takes a swig, pound it in, take a swig, pound it in, and it takes 5 times for him to pound the spike all the way into the tree, up to the top of the spike head. And everybody in the bar cheers, huzzah! As they see him pound it in, and he picks up his winnings off of the table.
Time to use one of those.
How does this game work?
I
like hitting things with a hammer.
Yeah, you gotta drink a full mug of Hammerschlagen, then swing the provided Hammerschlagen hammer, and pound your spike into the tree wedge. And we take turns pounding it, and rather you pound yours in, and whoever gets their spike the deepest in the tree and the shortest number of blows and is still standing wins.
All right. So you drink it first, or you drink it during?
You drink the whole mug first.
You didn't do that.
Yeah, well, we drank one before we came up here.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, we did that too.
Yeah. Well, I still have it. I'll chug it. Chug the whole thing.
And they bring over another mug for you, and he collects a gold from you from your other mug, and somebody says, "Oh," as this other guy comes over, he says, "Oh, I'll challenge you. How many do you think you can pound it in?"
We'll go with 3.
3. Okay. He says, "I'll take that bet," and he says, "I'll bet you 60 gold."
All right, 60 gold it is.
60 gold. And he chugs his.
Be something.
I'm sorry? He chugs his. Glug, 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 and you can see it. He's kind of rolling around, but he's a pretty big, burly dude. And he's rolling around. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second. And then
Okay. So he takes his.
I'm going to drink this.
What is it?
Cloud giant strength.
Cloud giant strength.
27. Strength of 27.
Huzzah.
Let's pass me up.
So he goes ahead and he.
8, right?
Huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
And he pounds and he takes a swing, and the first swing he misses it, and the second one he hits it and he slams it in, and he does that much damage to it, and he takes another swing and he misses, and he give me a fumble card.
Instant death.
And
We can hope.
Hit
This
so.
guy definitely doesn't deserve that.
who's standing near him? Well, you are.
I am, yeah.
He accidentally hits you with the hammer.
Hey!
Oh, sorry about that. And he does.
The nail's over
Ooh,
there.
ouch.
Isn't that a foul?
He
That's
does
a foul!
13 points of damage to you. Sorry. That was number 3.
That's a forfeit. That's a forfeit.
No, it was an accident. And he's trying to hold. And he hits it again, and he does that much more. And you can see he's got it about 1/4 of the way in, and he takes his swig. And
Enough. End the misery.
and
You lose.
He's going around, and then he swings again, and he hits it again, and he does that much more, and he's going around. He's about 1/3 of the way. Spike is about 1/3 of the way in, and then he drinks again, and he's spinning a little bit further, and he pounds again, and he misses, and he drinks again, and he's spinning further, and then he just finally goes down after about seven hits. He just collapses on the ground. His buddies go over and lift him up. And he says, "Well, You have to still be standing after 7 then.
After 7?
Yes.
That wasn't part of the rules.
Or
I
you
won't need 7.
Or you have to pound it.
Or you have to pound it in less.
Should
Okay.
need 7 rounds.
Okay. So your spike is up there. Roll the hit.
Balder.
What are we adding? 13, so 26?
26. Roll damage.
You minus your 4.
No, I have a thing now.
Oh,
So I added.
yeah, you're all
So-
boosted up. That's right.
So 16 damage.
16 damage. The spike starts to go in. It's a.
Can I cheat and use my cantrip?
I mean, is anybody going to see it?
Yeah, we'll just.
They'll
use the
probably
hammer.
see it,
We'll
though.
just use the hammer.
Okay. It goes in. You take a drink. Roll a con check or con save.
21.
21. All your attributes drop by 2 more points. Okay.
Does he die if he hits 0?
You're going unconscious.
I am now like the ugliest guy in the room at this point.
You go unconscious. Any of them goes to 0. But anyway. Okay.
You're foaming out of your mouth.
Okay. Okay. And you go your next hit.
All right, come on. Ooh, 7 plus. What are we adding now? 19.
19. You hit again. Do your damage. It pounds on the spike.
6 plus 15 damage.
15 more. It appears to be about a third of the way in at this juncture. And take a swig. Roll a con save.
So now it's down to plus 8. So we are at 19.
19 you save, so minus 2 more to all attributes.
All right, we're down to plus 7 now.
Any attributes go to 0?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Close.
Okay.
We're close. So then we got another 28 or 29 to hit.
29 hits. You just slam it in. And
Damn. 2 plus 9, 11. What was that? 4, 12. No, 13.
13 point. It's about 3/5 of the way in at this point. 13, yeah, actually close, almost halfway in at this point. You drink again.
Well,
Okay.
I gotta, right? It's
You
the
have
rules?
to, right? Huh?
It's the rules?
The rules. You drink again. You save again. And you swing again.
4 plus 7. No, probably not. I don't know if I saved. 11.
11. You minus 4 to all attributes.
So charisma is down to -2.
-2. You pass out Balder chugs and then swings back after his 4th hit and just plows over. And somebody comes up and raises your arm up in the air. He got it deeper in less strokes.
Some guys over there like,
Yeah.
And they're measuring them out carefully, and they push their 60
going to be the result.
60 gold over to you. They wave smelling salts under your nose, and you're just a wreck at this point. You can stick that back underneath. You're just a wreck at this point. And the people are cheering inside. Several come over and they buy you a drink, and they put another one in your hand.
oh god.
Man, what are you guys doing? Sorry,
Perhaps we should get some food now?
Or an empty bucket.
Well, let's not get carried away. After the food, perhaps. So we can have more food.
Sounds good.
Okay, so
My good man, is there anything to eat in this
oh yes,
place, or do we just pound spikes into tables?
well, mostly pound spikes into tables, but yes, we've got some pretty good fare. If you like stews with lots of meat and potatoes.
Well, that sounds fabulous.
No carrots. I heard you over there. No carrots.
Bacon?
Yeah, we got bacon. We got lots of pork.
This is mutton country.
Not having
mutton sheep.
No unicorn, I hope.
No unicorn. No, I've never seen a unicorn.
All right, five stews then, I suppose.
5, and a couple minutes go by, and they bring out the food to you. The place is pretty hopping at this point, although there's no audio.
It's quiet.
Theater of the mind.
Anyway, and what are you guys doing?
What is the general vibe of this area? Do people seem like they're all in good spirits?
They seem like they're in pretty good spirits. It seems like a lot of, you scan the room, you see a lot of folks who appear to work on the river just based upon the way they're dressed and so forth. Some farmers, some merchants. There's kind of a mix of everything in here.
A lot of
and
salt
everybody
of the earth.
seems, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I cut you off. A lot of salt of the earth, basically?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Nothing highbrow, if that's what you meant.
Yes.
Doesn't appear to be.
If the barkeep or the serving wench comes over, I'm going to try to ask where the next big town is. You know, where, how far, what it is, directions.
Which way are you headed?
We're heading toward
Benelux.
Benelux.
Oh, Benelux. Whew. Yeah, you're gonna keep going north for the most part. Maybe a little bit west, but north. Just follow the Rhine as far north as you can go, and then maybe turn left at some point until it takes you up to Amsterdam. It's probably quite a hike, though.
Benelux up that way, huh?
Yes. I mean, Benelux is kind of synonymous with Amsterdam, and Amsterdam's the biggest city in Benelux.
So what's going on in this town?
This is where the Rhine comes out of the mountains and flows north.
Anything happening around here now this time?
Well, it's end of winter. I mean, once the mines are open back up in the mountains and ore starts coming out, and the river will be plowed with barges, and then toward the end of summer, harvest will go up and down the river. But for right now, that's about it. Next biggest town, next biggest town, I'm not sure it's a town. A couple days away, there's a mountain village of Badenweiler. Yes. They're kind of a rowdy bunch that don't seem to want to advance with civilization, if you will. They still believe in the old gods and stuff like that.
Sounds like fun.
How far are we from Loon?
I'm sorry, from where?
Loon?
Loon?
Brunswick in Loon?
Oh, Lüneburg? Lüneburg and Brunswick. A couple weeks to the northeast, I'd say. On your way toward. Where are you from?
Venice.
Ah, okay. You speak very good Deutsch, though. Okay.
But you're German. All those people said you were German, that you looked like that other guy.
I was raised in Venice.
You don't look that Italian. No. No.
Do you see it now?
Well, that would be kind of towards the Teuton area if we decide to go that way.
Well, these German lands are very strange to me. I don't understand them very well. There are little kingdoms and duchies and principalities. It's very confusing.
Are they receptive to outsiders?
I don't know. I've never been.
That makes sense.
Huh?
Just a thought. We should probably inquire about rooms for the night.
Perhaps.
Unless you want to go to the next tavern.
Yeah, perhaps. I do not know what we should do.
You just rest up and enjoy the town.
That hasn't worked in our favor yet.
I mean, is there anything?
Everyone here seems pretty nice.
Is there anything you guys would need to acquire in a town of this size?
We could get some more
or-
horses.
Yep, horses.
Horses
I
are
can always.
with- I'm not gonna say.
Could always see the blacksmith if they got a good one here. Can't hurt.
What, you need more?
Could be useful.
What
I
else
don't think
do
of
you
anything
need?
in particular that
Little
I need
squeaky.
to find.
Squeaky on the left
but
arm.
Matthias, what do you guys usually do when you roll into a new town? Do you try to recruit against Ghazi, or you just stay on the low down? How do you play it when you roll into a town?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to.
Well, just trying to raise up the common people does not really usually work.
Yeah.
The thing is, most people do not want to leave the area around their homes unless they are placed under obligation. Many of the people in these villages will live in the same same general area their entire lives. We don't just recruit common peasants to rise up and stand with us against Osman. No, that is why we're trying to. That is why I am trying to find as many of the influential leaders in the places we go to as possible, like the Emperor, because they are the ones who will be able to rally the support necessary for us to present a viable resistance to the Turks.
Didn't you guys burn down a house or something in the town
I don't recall that.
before my time? That wasn't you.
We
No, I don't remember that.
may or may not have done that. I don't recall. Too much drinking.
I mean, we have burned things down before, but I don't remember if it was in this town or not, or
Well, not this town.
where it was really. I don't remember.
I've burned many.
I know there was that one place in the Balkans. I think it was in Serbia,
That's what you do.
but that was a very long time ago, and you weren't there.
I was not there.
I was not there either.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, so do you want to try to connect with any influential people in town, or do you want to just get in and get out?
Well,
It's hard to
my
convince.
question is, what kind of influential people do you think are in the town?
Yeah, I don't know, and we have no
We can ask around.
we have no
I
credit with
mean,
any of these people.
you can talk to to whoever the lord or reeve of the city is, but it is hard to convince people of a threat when they are not under the threat.
Agreed.
They have had no influence from Ghazi or any of his minions as of yet, so
It has been more of a.
it will be difficult to convince them that.
We've only been able to
Yes,
convince
that's why-
the people of willing
That's
to
why
do
I'm
it
not
for everyone
holding
else.
my breath regarding whether or not we're going to make any real allies in, say, the western side of the Germanies or in France. Even if we could, the chances that they would be able to send support if my Lord King Charles was threatened would be incredibly difficult, and it would be far too time consuming. No, if I'm going to be finding allies to help us defend against Osman Ghazi, they need to be closer to Osman Ghazi.
So we are best being quick in these areas, getting to our
Perhaps.
destinations.
Yeah.
I may want to see if there's a library or something in the morning before we leave.
Agreed.
It is getting late.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. And maybe tomorrow I'll do some snooping around.
That is what you
And
do.
I can feel that alcohol is starting to get into my skull. I don't know how I'm only feeling it now.
And your hair
For
is
some
a
reason,
little
I
blue.
feel like it made me so much less intelligent that it's actually slowing down my perception.
Well,
That is both a marvelous and a terrifying thing.
then that is definitely our clue. Or
Shut it down for the night.
to shut it down. Yeah. Let's.
Okay.
Settle up the bill.
Okay.
Are there any rooms in this establishment, good sir?
Oh, yes.
Fabulous.
The innkeeper cries out, surely. I call me Heiliger. Not innkeeper. Heiliger. Heiliger Krieger. Huh?
Heilige
No. Do I look like a spearhead to you?
Maybe.
Is this your brother?
Join us in the bathroom. We'll see.
I used to be called a pinhead, and then I grew some hair. Anyway, Yes, 1 gold each for the night.
Pretty steep place.
Thank you.
Baldur shells it out. It includes breakfast, though, dear chap.
Ooh, a continental breakfast.
Continental, I don't know about that, but it's pretty good. Okay, it eventually starts to die down. You guys,
Continent.
Head up to the room. And,
okay. If you guys don't do anything else,
No, I think I'm good.
then
I don't have any
the
attribute
night
points left to do
passes.
anything
The
else.
night passes uneventfully, and you complete a short rest.
Right.
Do our stats go back?
Yes. The drinking stats dissipate. Yes, indeed.
Good.
Good.
Yes,
Now I'm only
indeed.
slightly below average.
Yes, indeed. There you go. The next morning, you can hear the sound of clanging down below, of like kitchenwares, and you can smell the eggs and bacon and porridges and blood pudding and wafting up through the rafters. And and fresh bread. It smells pretty good for, quote, a continental breakfast, if you will.
I will ask if they have any good blacksmiths in the area.
Heidegger says, "Good morning. Yes, we have one right here on this side of the Rhine.
Is he any good?
Well, I mean, he's not bad. I mean,
Is he an artist?
But don't you want the best?
artist. Carl Richter. Yes, Carl, and he works with Utah. Richter,
All right.
a blacksmith. What are you looking to have made?
Just some tune. Just want to tune up my armor a little bit.
Oh, crap.
Been wearing the same armor for quite a long time. It's time to straighten it back out.
Yes, I wanted to say something.
So I can bend again.
It looks like it had been painted at one time.
Yeah, poorly. And we don't want to talk about where the black paint came from.
Oh my god. Tom can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I remember it not being good.
Okay.
I remember it not being good.
Okay. So you venture off to. Does everybody comes down and has breakfast, if you will, and.
Heidegger, is there a...
Yes.
It might be on the other side of the bridge, but would there be any type of library or sorts in the city?
Well, I mean, there's the abbey on the other side of the river
That would be the best bet.
Yes, it's run by a monk named. He doesn't pause, but Tom does. Abbot von Winkelsheim. Winkelsheim, he runs it over there.
Thank you very much.
Winkelstein.
Not Stein, Scheim.
Scheim.
Winkelsheim.
He gets offended if you call him Winkelstein. That's the other side of the family.
Winkelsheim. Winkelsheim. Well, perhaps I will head over there while you deal with your
Sounds good.
armor.
I'm gonna fish in my pocket. I have my Thieves Guild coin. I'm just gonna flash it. Do you know anybody that has a similar coin in town?
Yes, I do.
It is I.
Me.
What if I?
Where might one
Trapdoor opens up
socialize
under
with
the bar.
those?
Well, I can have somebody come and meet you if you like.
Good, I'll stay in my room then.
Oh, very well. And what's your name, sir?
I am
A traveler.
I had
He has like
wrote
6
down my
names.
false identity, but I didn't write it in the thing here. We'll just go to Aldrick for now.
Aldrick. Okay, Aldrick.
I am
Aldrick for now.
Aldrick for now. That is a
Aldrick
wind's
for
name.
It's actually Aldric with a K.
Aldrick with a K for now. It's a very long name. Aldrick with a K for now. Very well. This is way too much fun. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure at 7-Sided Die, and with all the technical difficulties and mental difficulties, I need a drink. I'll be right back.
Fair enough.
As Huzzah for difficulty.
beginning of the.
You're watching
Yeah.
the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die. I apologize for the frozen cameras, triplicate audio, ending sound
If anyone
effects,
out there knows what's going on,
Yeah,
help.
it's just live television or live streaming. Close enough. Yep. And now the computer wants to restart. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, so we rejoin the party in a tavern called the Hammerschlagen.
Hammerschlagen.
No, it wasn't the Hammerschlagen. It was the Krieger. Hammerschlagen Krieger, I believe. Hammerschlagen Krieger. Yes, we rejoin you guys in progress. You're down in the main common area. Mattias, you come down. Yes. Yes, and I assume the rest of you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're venturing off?
I'm going to head across to the abbey.
Okay. Is anybody going with you, or are you going solo?
Would anybody like to come with me?
I'm gonna retire to my room and draw a bath while I wait for my gentleman caller.
Do you need some paper and some charcoal?
Okay.
I would like
We
to
just
join
took
you.
a very great turn.
Come with me. I didn't think you would have much to do at the armorer.
No, I need nothing of that.
Let's go take a bath.
Let's.
I appreciate the offer. It has been a short time with us together, but I will pass.
Bonding, man, bonding.
You are very kind.
One back washes the other.
You are very close this party.
This table, as big as it is, suddenly got much smaller.
Georgie walks out with a small bath towel.
And then snaps it.
He does some weird thing with his tongue. Anyway.
Whoa.
All right, we will head to the abbey.
Yes.
You have fun. You and Matthias have fun with the metal. Find out about that ore.
That is the plan.
Is it still glowing, or did it stop glowing after you took it off the wall?
It's glowing.
Oh, fabulous.
It could be killing me.
You think it's yellow cake?
Radiation hasn't been discovered yet.
Oh, so we're safe.
You're good.
Nobody knows about it. You're fine.
Yeah, it can't hurt you if no one
Yeah,
knows.
exactly.
It's good.
And if you didn't mean to, it didn't
It's
happen.
just witchcraft.
Exactly. Okay.
It's true. I show it to the blacksmith and he freaks out. Witchcraft!
Okay, so you venture off into the town, and the Aldrick is up in his room. Matthias, what are you doing?
I will, it's a good question, actually.
Okay, well, while you're thinking of it, Jess, you venture off, or Simon ventures off. You go down the main street. It's starting to get fairly busy. There's merchants going back and forth. They're doing a lot of business within the town right now. You can see that they have a lot of food stores and stuffs that have saved up for the winter, and now the winter's starting to die down. There's seed packages leaving and so forth to go to farms and what have you from warehouses. You quickly come to the bridge, and this bridge, just a quick glance at it, you could tell this bridge just doesn't match the rest of the town. It just looks very, very ancient. It's very well made. The stones are perfectly hewn and fitted together. They're unusually large, but it's just obviously of a different era, if you will. You cross over to the other side, and on the other side you see you enter what would be otherwise the same town, but it's a fortified town on the other side. There are some guards there. Their gate is open rather. It's not. They're not blocking anyone's passage. Oops, too far. They're not blocking anyone's passage. There's commerce is going back and forth. They just appear to be glancing at people, just keeping an eye out for what folks are doing. Off to your left, as you cross over, you see up on a hill a small castle, but it looks not as fortified, and you quickly figure out that that's probably an abbey.
Miko, that looks like where we're headed. Do you have anything else you want to do before we make our way over?
No. No, I have not. Not much for myself.
Okay. Okay, start to walk. Okay, you're walking up toward the abbey, and Mattias, he went to the abbey. Zyman and Mikolash went to the abbey. Balder is heading to a blacksmith, and Aldrick is hanging out in his room in his bathtub, waiting for a male gentleman caller. And what are you doing?
Mattis is going to go down to the market.
Okay, you head on down to the market. We'll get back to you. Balder, you head on down the street down toward a blacksmith, and you see a large hammer hanging from an iron hanging hook, if you will, and you hear a woman and man inside arguing with one another. I told you to buy more coal. I did buy more coal. You used it all, you bonehead. And they're just going back and forth.
All right, I want to take a quick look around. How does his work look? What he's got hanging up on the
An
walls.
investigation check.
All right, 23.
23. You look at it, and you'd say, in comparison to the quality of work that you've seen elsewhere, it's better than about 80% of it. So he's in the top.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
20-ish%. You know, he's not the
So
best
he's
you've ever
good
seen.
at what he does, though.
He's reasonably good.
He's not just putting stuff together.
Yeah, you hear him bickering away in there. The two of them seem to be going at it like an old couple.
I'll walk in. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Shut up. Yeah, not you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That was rude.
It's all right. It's all right. How you doing this morning?
You tell him to shut up. It was going good. It's going better now. Yeah, what can I do for you, sir?
Well, hopefully it's going to go a little bit better. I have some work for you. If you're not too busy, of course.
We can always take some work. I mean,
I'm looking to get my armor tuned up.
what do you
As
mean?
you can tell, currently I bring fear to women and children. And I do that enough already. I need to look the part.
How do you envision this appearing?
Lots of gold.
Lots of gold.
Yes.
As in, like painted on,
Gold
or
plating.
filigreed, or like
Gold plated.
raised, or any
Could
kind of
be-
design.
I guess it would be repainted black and much better than it is now, and then just lots of gold accents.
Like edging, and what the design work. You want flowers? Do you want leaves? Do you want Norse knots?
How about we do flowers, but if you look really close, it's my enemies screaming in pain as their soul
Ooh, I
leaves
like
their
that
body.
idea. I can like open mouths face.
Yes.
Like, it looks like a flower until you look at it very close and it's
Yes,
something screaming.
exactly.
I can easily, well, not easily, but I can do that.
He pulls out all these drawings.
I've been waiting. Do you mind if some of them look like my wife screaming?
Go ahead. If it helps.
With her hair, if you've ever seen her.
If it helps you cope.
If you've ever seen her when she's laying down, her hair spread out, it looks kind of like a flower screaming at you, like ah.
All right. Well, perfect. You can draw an inspiration.
I'll ask her to pose. Actually, I don't have to ask her. She'll do it anyway. But what's your timeline? I mean, what you're looking for is a little bit of artistry.
Of course, quicker the better. How fast do you think you can get it done?
Well, I can get it blackened within a day. It's the gold work that's going to take a couple days.
How much extra gold would it take to get it done within a week?
Oh, we can easily get it. It's not going to cost
Perfect.
extra to get it done within a week. If you've got a week, we can easily do it within a week.
All right. And I do have my own supplies, of course.
Well, the blackening material, I'm going to have to use like an acid etch to get the black in.
Yeah.
So there's nothing there, but the gold, if you have your own gold, I mean, we can use some of your own gold.
And I'll kind of show him. I don't know if gold coins work better, but I also have this, and I'll show him the raw gold we mined out. I'm not even actually sure what it is.
He goes, Very fancy. I don't know if I'd want to put that on your armor, though.
Do you know
not
what it is?
Sure. If I think I know what it is. You might want to go to it's... May I?
Yeah.
He handles it for a moment
course.
and he looks at it. Do you have any magicians in your party? So we're with you.
It's a weird question, but no.
No.
A magician?
Yeah. So,
I'm a wizard.
I think it's magical.
Ooh.
But it's not magical. It's a magical in if I know what it is. Where'd you get it from?
Found it in a cave.
Pretty vague. But
That's all you need to know.
It was just sitting there.
Hole in the ground.
There's some up in the abbey. There's some monks who spend all their days with their faces stuffed in books. They might know better than I.
All right,
I
ask
can
him.
probably put it on your armor, but
I'll wait till I find out more about it.
it's gonna glow all the
we'll
time.
stick with gold coins.
Okay.
It'll just be like the largest bag of gold ever.
Hey.
How much you think you'll need? More
All
gold.
of it?
The more gold on my armor, the better.
Well, why don't we? Listen, I'm not going to try and cheat you, but why don't we start with 100, and I'll take the fee out of that, and it'll probably be about, I'm guessing, 25 to 30 pieces of gold worth of gold on it. I mean, you're not looking for it to be raised; you're looking for it to be smooth on there, right?
Yeah.
Well then, 20 to 35. I mean, obviously, if you wanted something built up, like
Yeah, no,
then
just
it would
like
be-
etched and hammered in, so it's
yeah,
smooth.
so it's smooth.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna probably use. I'm just guessing. It's kind of hard to say until it gets started.
Cool.
20 to 30 pieces of gold actually used, and then just my time and labor and other resources and acid and what have you for the.
Sounds good to me.
When I'm finished, it won't be black paint. It'll be black
Okay.
etched. So the only way it's going to come off is if you scrape it deep down into the core of it somehow.
Perfect. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
The more gold, the better. It's all. I'll let the
I
artist
mean,
do
it
his
will
work.
be very ornate.
I'll let
If
the
that's what
artist
you
do
want.
his work.
If
Yes.
you want it ornate, it will be ornate.
Yes, I'm tired of people running in fear when they see me. I want them to respect me when I
You
approach.
want awe.
Yes.
Ah, very well. Yes.
The opposite of what is happening now.
Very well. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Very well. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. And does Baldur wear a helmet?
I will need a helmet made because I don't have one.
I mean, what you want is the old Roman bridge out there is a very Roman theme. You want a huge Roman crest on it would just be awesome. But
All right.
black, of course, to go. With gold filigree and just a black helmet. With
Currently,
a
I'm
black
just still
crest.
wearing that old wolf fur head. Still, no.
It's all beaten out. The fur's
Yeah.
all matted. I refuse to clean it.
Covered in who knows what.
Yeah. It's gonna need a thorough cleaning too. I mean, it doesn't look like it's.
No, it's
It still has meat and gristle
whatever.
stuck in the joint.
Whatever the last river I was in washed off. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, a week should do it. Definitely should do it.
All right. Well, thank you.
A day to clean it, a day to acid etch it, and then 3-ish days to gold filigree. Yeah, that should do it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, very good. I'm Carl, and just have a pleasure
Nice to
doing
meet you.
business with you. What's your name?
Baldur.
Baldur? Carl?
I go by Ballin Falls.
Yeah, I go by Borinth sometimes.
Borinth, Baldur. Okay, I'll just remember it starts with a B.
Yeah, there you go.
Very well. Aldrick, you're up in your room. A short while later, you hear a knock at the door.
Just a minute, I'm indecent.
A woman's voice says, "Hello." That's all right with me.
Ooh.
Entree.
Well then.
A lady
how cliche, all dressed in black, enters. And she says, "May I see your token?"
I tuck my towel into my side and I flash the token. I mean the gold coin token.
I understood what you said.
Whoops.
Whoops. A flash. No,
Yeah.
the other token.
I tie the towel around.
She says, "Yes, a very small token."
Oh.
She says, "I'm Sophie Nua. Well, you're new in town?"
Passing through.
And, well, obviously you're
Lost another camera.
A member here, so to speak. What may I do for you?
I'm in the employ of some patrons. We've been seeking information and tracking a shipment that has been running through the region from Koningsberg to Benelux. Wondering if the local intelligence might know of anything about this.
Königsberg to Benelux. I mean, that's both. Benelux a few weeks north of here, and Königsberg is much farther north and east. I mean, that's very far away. You're looking for shipments going back and forth between the two.
Or if you have heard word of such activities.
I mean, that's on the Baltic. There's all types of traffic in the sea there. I would imagine if there's any trade going back and forth, it's via the it must be going via sea. Around the Danes, past probably Sweden and into Königsberg and back out again. I mean, can you give me anything more specific?
Where was the town that was in Germany, that town, right?
Oh, the one that caught on fire?
Yeah, that was
Not Munich.
Munich, right? That was Munich.
Was it Munich?
Yeah.
I think so.
We've tracked the shipments as far as Munich, and seem to have lost our trail.
All right, what was the shipment?
Did we capture the shipment? Did we investigate the shipment? We just had empty boxes.
It was just all the exploded barrels.
Yeah.
That was it. Just the barrels that caused the fire.
Well, we
And
believe
their
it might,
remnants.
we believe it might have something to do with the Teutons.
Well, the Teutons are in Königsberg. So you don't know what you're looking for, but it's going back and forth between Benelux and Königsberg.
It's very suspicious.
And it was, whatever it was in Munich.
And it exploded.
Oh, and it explodes. You didn't mention that.
And it explodes?
I'm sorry?
I'm mentioning it now.
You're mentioning it now. Is there anything else you haven't mentioned?
You'll have to excuse me, I'm putting my breeches on right now. So how are you doing?
What brings you to town? You told me to come here.
We'll be right back. Again.
Okay.
And so, well, I Aldrick, for now. Aldrick.
With a K.
With a K for now. I will look into it.
A lot of imposters.
Yeah, you know we do this for money too, and you're part of the guild.
I understand how these things work.
So, you're wanting to find out what?
Well, I
What
have
exactly?
reason to believe that there are magical items being exchanged and transported.
Not just things that explode.
Well, magical things have a tendency to explode. I assumed the guilds might have some knowledge of this.
And you're wanting to find out what it is that's being transported?
What it is, or who might be able to lead me further along this quest. Surely you must have your ears to the ground.
Well, I mean, it's very far away, though.
Well, this is beyond your scope, I don't know.
I will look into it. And how long will we be here for?
I should be here for several days, 5 days, 7 days. You look tired. Have you had a bath today?
Yes, I have. Thank you very much, though.
We have to rest.
It's very kind of you to offer. The I'll get back to you. We'll look into it, and then I'll let you know what it will cost to find out more. Reasonable?
Very. If
You have your own spin-off show.
the guild would appreciate a donation, I'd be happy to supply something. I don't want to insult anybody.
I don't. It's not necessary now. I don't know what we'll be able to find out. Let me see what we can find out first. Is that reasonable?
Exceedingly reasonable.
Well, Aldrick with a K for now. It was very nice meeting you.
Sophie?
And she takes off. Maddie, as you venture in toward the merchants district, you go into the town. There's a main road that goes right down through the center of the town, and there's shops on either side. On this main road, it's mostly taverns and inns, but you can see the shops off on either side of it in the respective streets that branch off of it. It's fairly busy. The folks are coming and going at the end of winter, and it looks like a lot of grain and other supplies are being moved toward barges to be shipped off to farms and what have you to start planting harvests. And there's other supplies that are going to other merchants that would be normally going any time of year. Is there anything in particular you're looking for or doing?
I'm going to be looking just to... Do I see it, whether it's in the market or in one of the streets off of it, do I see an alchemist shop anywhere?
Roll an investigation check.
Okay, investigation.
He really wants to get rid of that blue hair.
That is a plus...
I happen to like it.
3, surprisingly. So, with the plus 3, that is a 22.
Wow. You go up and down the streets, and you ask a few people, alchemists, what do you speak German?
Let me check again, actually. I need to get caught up on the way you're categorizing languages we know.
You speak Uralic, Hellenic, and Latin, in addition to Thieves' Cant. So, in Latin, you say alchemy, and you're asking around, and people, they can pick up enough on the word. I mean, you can't hold a full conversation in Latin.
I really need to learn some German.
And for as long as until you guys cross the Rhine and you're in France, and then it may not do you much good anymore. But in the meantime, you asked.
My smattering of Romance language might actually.
Well, you speak Latin, so you ask around, and somebody points you down an alleyway, and eventually you find a shop with a wooden sign that appears to be a beaker hanging from it, And
Well, this is a fortuitous discovery. Time to make sure that I have at least one extra means by which not to die in the near future. Does it appear that the door is open?
you go up. The door is closed, but you go up and you check the handle. It's unlocked.
Matthias nods and then goes in.
Okay. A short while later, you're standing there in a room. It's a rather cramped room. There are several cabinets on with glass fronts on all of the walls with small little hasps on them with small locks. And in each of the cabinets, there's jars filled with everything you can imagine, from roots and plants to small animals that you've never seen before, to parts of big animals that you've never seen before, to parts of perhaps even humans and so forth. And somebody eventually comes out and says, "Wie geht's?"
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Sprechen Sie Latin?
Ich spreche ein bisschen.
Sprechen Sie whatever the cant would be in German.
The cant. I don't know what you're.
The
Tom
Thieves'
does.
Cant, Adventurers Cant.
Oh, nein, ich verstehe keine Adventurers Cant.
He's struggling. Just 2 words.
In German, Matthias asks, do you have vitality potions?
Haben Sie Vitalität? She understood you. She didn't understand your German at all, but she understood sort of vitality. She says, "Einen Moment, bitte." She goes in the back, and she comes back out a few minutes later with something. She says, "Verstehen Sie?" And she hands you something.
Accepting it, can I tell what it is?
Sure. I mean, you gonna taste some, or what are you gonna do?
No, just look for now.
It looks like a pale, creamy colored liquid.
Language lessons.
Haben Sie einen Freund? Sie sprechen Deutsch?
I really need to learn some other languages. Latin just isn't cutting it anymore. Apparently, it might work amongst the nobility, but everywhere else it's just useless.
She listens to you mumbling to yourself. She says,
"Speak German, boy."
Ich kann verstehen. Es tut mir leid.
Matthias shrugs.
Es tut mir leid.
Hold the
Dankeschön.
Nein.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön. Tschüss. Tschüss.
What?
Tschüss.
Is she saying? What is she saying? I can't tell.
Your camera's out.
Bye-bye.
Matthias, taking one last bow, leaves, feeling somewhat foolish.
Okay, and you head off at that point. I'm gonna walk around over there. I don't have that on anyway, and I'm gonna try just to turn it off and turn it back on.
I wonder what it could be.
This obviously there's something wrong.
I think we need more power.
More power.
More power.
What cameras?
Oh, that's what it was. I just turned the dial up.
It's the only thing I can think. Like,
You gotta
but
put
it's
this up
12.
to 11 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like metal, only louder.
Tom, I made a mistake. I have 46 max
Right, because
HP.
now it's plugged
Yeah,
directly
I
into
thought it
it.
sounded a little bit high, but I didn't want to get into
Gotta be motherboard.
I thought I added my 5.
I don't think I trusted that. The lack of communication there.
I don't know. I want you to drink that. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're engaged now, dude.
Your hair turns violet.
Yeah.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Wait, are you saying I took that with me?
No, you didn't.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, good, because I wasn't planning to.
No, I would have drank it.
Okay.
just
That's
using
Mattias
some of the
back
binoculars.
with Simon. So you're at the
Drink it.
base of the abbey here, if you will. It goes up a small path up a hill, and you can see this kind of creamy stone-colored building. The same stone as all the rest of the walls, except for the bridge. The bridge looks like it was like a granite almost. And you're outside of what appears to be an abbey. What are you doing? Well, along with Mikolosh. I'm sorry, I forgot that you were there with him before.
No worries. I would have interjected.
What are you guys doing?
No, as we slowly head up, I'm going to turn to Mikolash. We have not gotten to talk much since whenever you arrived in a dream or whatever that was. I find it odd that you have decided to follow us. You can obviously tell that we are invested in something grand, something dangerous. Well, I'm just curious as to. You obviously seek something. Most men would not join such a thing unless the desired answers. It seems like maybe you do, but there's not been much time to talk.
For me, there's been a lot of time to think. I've wasted time. I've middled around in the world. I've not seen much and thought I knew better. The world is a grand place. It's full of many mysteries and full of good people, it seems. I count you among them.
I would say there's many good people as bad people. And sometimes good people are bad people. And sometimes bad people are good people. We all find our path.
I feel I've found many bad people. I think when you learn how to see the world, solving your own problems, you want to not reach out and learn better to solve problems by yourself. And I've done that to my best ability, and it's damaged me. I think I've hurt myself in mind and body. I think I need to do a different path. I need to look for help instead of running away. I think I need to look for something deeper than myself and the small gains of a day. You seem all wise and battle-hardened, and the joy I felt, seeing my life hanging by a thread, it gave me such a deep feeling of passion. My heart raced. My mind couldn't process what I was seeing constantly. I didn't want to deal with any of this, and I thought to run, but then I stayed, and you all helped me see it through. And there is something now that calls me to want to see this through. I fear many things, and I want to constantly. I saw the body of that young woman, what was left, and I thought maybe this is where I should not be. But then I thought maybe every time I have that feeling that I shouldn't be here anymore, that I shouldn't try this anymore, that maybe that is that feeling I need to run from. I need to be better, and I want to be better. My desire, I've not found that true desire, but for now I want to be able to come to terms with whatever that desire is in a better fashion than I've been.
I don't know that you have found the men to help you, but you are welcome amongst us for as long as you want to stay.
I appreciate that.
I hope we can help each other. Let us go. I have things I have to learn. Oh, I'm sorry. My mind is distracted. I'm going to talk about this more later. I'll just start walking up to the abbey.
Miglash will slowly follow behind and catch up.
You make your way up it's a cobbled road, kind of spiraling up to the top of the hill, off to the left side of the town itself. You can see that it has large stone arches that are fairly old. They're very robust, and they're carved out of a tan, heavy stone, if you will. You enter the arches, and you see a large set of doors. They are open at the current moment, and it seems to open into a large room of some sort.
I'll step in. I'll turn to Miglash. If you choose to pray, I suppose you may do so now. I have a man I need to seek out. And I'll look for the closest person that looks like they have anything to do with the abbey.
You enter the abbey, and as you make your way in, off to the either side, you see several alcoves, and there appear to be monks sitting in each of the alcoves. Some of them in some contemplative state, others reading some tomes or scripts, and then at the far end, it seems to open up into. There are several balustrades that open up into a courtyard of sorts. And beyond in the courtyard, you can see several other monks.
I'll look around closest to me and see who looks the least focused on what they're doing.
Roll an investigation check.
As to not disturb. I'm not adding anything, it's a 1. So I'm gonna bother somebody.
Okay.
The busiest guy. He's got like 800 things in his hand.
You wander slightly. Your mind is just kind of scattered at the moment. Miglash, are you with him? No, you're not. You're outside. Okay. You wander back and forth, and you come across. There's this scholarly-looking older monk. He seems to be just kind of droning on, and he seems to be talking to this younger acolyte. And the younger acolyte is just nodding his head knowingly, and he has a scroll spread out in front of him. And the older monk is lecturing to him, and almost kind of in a very, very kind of offensive, just kind of berating. He's not yelling, but it's just kind of, you can tell from the tone, it just doesn't sound very polite. And he's just kind of berating the younger acolyte, and it just seems to go on and on and on. And the younger one is sitting there with the script. He's just kind of nodding his head, and the older one looks at him every once in a while like, are you understanding me? And he just keeps nodding his head. Roll another investigation check. 14. And you notice that the younger one seems to have another script in front of the script that he's reading that he seems to be engrossed in. And he's like, And it just seems to be going on and on. And then he says in German to the older monk, he says, I have to go to the bathroom. And he rolls up his scrolls, and the older monk is obviously like, oh, youth. And you see the younger one starting to skate off.
In my finest high German, I'll say, Guten Morgen.
To which one?
To the older one.
Oh,
as the
Guten
younger
Morgen.
one, as the younger one absconds with to go to the bathroom. I am looking for.
He pauses and he looks up at you when he realizes you were saying more than just good morning.
Have I disturbed your lesson? It seems your student has left.
Youth is multitasking. They try and do two things at once.
It looked like he was doing more than two things at once.
Probably.
Maybe. Well, until he comes back, perhaps you can assist me. I am looking for a Abbot von Shine. Winkelstein.
Winkelstein. He doesn't like.
He doesn't like the Stein. I heard that from.
Yes.
What was the tender's name? Never mind. Could you point me in the direction of Winkelstein?
Winkelstein. Yeah. Abbot Winkelstein. Yes. I mean, might as well follow me. He's not. I don't think my acolyte will be back anytime soon.
Perhaps while we were walking, you can answer me some questions.
I will try.
I am in search of perhaps some information. Are there any books or scrolls relating to the Crusades and the Knights Templar in this abbey?
I mean, very possible, but I mean, we're not a. I mean, this is not a public library, if you will. I mean, this is.
I am not a public person.
Oh, very well. He seems distracted, and he says,
Perhaps you should just lead me to Finkelstein.
Oh, yes, I'll lead you to Finkelstein. If he'll see you now, yes.
He takes you through one of the alcove, up to one of the alcove, through one of the arches, and it seems to go down a corridor. The corridor, you can look out one side and you can see the courtyard with the balustrades, and it's very green with various different plants, and there are several monks in there working away at trying to make different pea pods, breed different pea pods, and what have you. And then eventually he comes to an office, outside of an office door, and he says, wait here. And who are you before?
I am Simon Wall.
I know the owner.
Where are you from?
I am from the Kingdom of Aragon.
Simon Wall of Aragon.
Yeah. Shall I give you my papers? Does he require them as well? Or does he...
No, I mean, it's just...
You need to know what everyone is.
Do I need to
Yes.
know? It's just that before I introduce you to him...
Okay. I am sorry.
Before, he's going to ask who wants to see me. And it's helpful to say who it is. Even if I don't know what it is.
You are correct. We did not exchange pleasantries. I am sorry. I am very occupied.
Very well.
I'm sorry.
He goes into the door, he closes it. You can hear some mumbling behind the door. A few minutes goes by, and he comes back out, and he says, yes, he'll see you. Can you wait a few minutes, though? He'll come to the door when he's ready.
Sure.
Very well. Back with Boulder, what are you doing, if anything?
I think I'm good for now. I don't have much else on my to-do list.
Okay. You head back to the tavern,
Yeah, we'll head
and
back.
you're drinking away. And what is Aldrick doing?
I'm out of the bath. I'll probably go down in the common room.
Okay.
Enjoy now.
Okay, you go down to the common room and have an ale. And what is Mikolash doing outside of the abbey?
So he'd walk toward the courtyard, and then what does he see? Does he see anyone sitting outside?
So you go the courtyard. You go through the main doors. You come through a large room with alcoves on either side of it, and then you come to a series of balustrades that open into a courtyard beyond. In the courtyard beyond, there are probably a few individuals sitting, and then there are others doing some planting and tending to various cultures of different plants and what have you.
I'd like to find, if possible, an older man sitting alone.
Roll an investigation check.
7.
7. It's not that you don't find one. It's that most of them have either shaved their heads, or it's very difficult to tell what their age is, because they're all dressed somewhat the same. Very, very nondescript, brownish, beige, humble clothing, tied with a rope around it, and no trappings that might otherwise define someone's wealth or position, and there's no appearance of any vanity, if you're what have you. They're just completely shaved, so it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, when you're looking, the cloaks come up pretty high, in because it is cold. You rationalize it's cold, so I mean you can't see like somebody's neck or anything like that. It's quickly, readily discerning what their age might be.
Could I try to perceive wrinkles in a man's face to try to gauge maybe the age?
So you pause there at the entranceway, and some people glance up at you, and as you do, you try to avert being, I'm assuming you might try to avert being like staring straight at somebody's eyes, but you try to glance at their eyes as their faces come up towards you. Roll a perception check.
12.
12. You spot one that you think is probably older than some of the others that you saw, but it's going so quick, and you're trying not to be offensive by staring at people's faces and so forth.
I would like to slowly walk over to the person.
Okay.
When I get within chatting distance.
He stands, he bows slightly, and he stands up. And he doesn't make eye contact with you, and not to be offensive, but it's almost as if he thinks it would be rude to make eye contact with you.
I would try to match those movements, and then after coming up, Mikolash, and then do one of these little handshake kind of things in front of him.
Johans.
And then I'll do my best Hellenic. Do you speak Hellenic? I'll try to mouth out to him.
Roll percentile.
Ooh, I speak that too.
Yeah, there's someone speaking Hellenic in the courtyard.
Local polyglot to the rescue.
89.
I speak a little.
I am Mikolash of a Moldavino monastery far in Romania. I am a
very
monk.
far from
I am a monk of my hands more than my faith. I've come on a journey to learn more of myself and of the world. I wondered if I could talk to you for a time of what your purpose is here, so I might learn something of myself.
Sit.
Slowly sit down.
And he sits next to you. It's a wide bench. There's enough personal space in between each of you. And he says,
student myself, but what may I help you with?
I've learned how to engage this world with my fists, but I'm not so good with my mind. I only see the world through what I desire. I wondered maybe if I could learn how you see the world and how you see your path as a monk.
My path is in study and in faith and proselytizing myself for my faith. I do not, although there are monks of the Christian faith who do, and there are a lot in Avignon, I do not do so myself. It's merely in study and to be closer to God. I'm not sure I answered your question, though.
I believe
what
you did.
The meaning one finds is the meaning. It's often the meaning one seeks out. The truth is not necessarily so clear and evident and rigidly defined. Sometimes the truth is that you define on the path that you take and the path that you are given, and that it eventually coalesces into something else.
Eli will just kind of like stare out for a second, kind of ponder that. How do you understand when you're on the path or when you're off the path?
Oh, that is a great question, and if one knew the answer to that, you would be a very, very studied and wise man. I mean, many veer from the path, not because they intend to veer from the path, but they don't know the path. And if they did know the path, would they stay on it? I believe that many would. Some would intentionally deviate anyway. But what is that path? That is a great question. For some it is very clear. They know what they want in life, and they know what they perceive to be right, and they know what they believe God has in store for them, and they know what they believe they should do to serve God, and so they stay on that path. For others, it is not so clear.
Do you believe it is easier to believe to be on the path than to seek the path?
I believe many do not seek a path. I believe many monks seek a path, but I believe that many others do not seek a path. They seek a destination, and they seek a want, whether that is something physical, whether it is wealth, power, love, the comfort of a woman, something else. It's a destination rather than a journey for them, and they lose sight of the path, and the path is just as important as the destination. And sometimes the path is more important. It really shows who you truly are, how you got to the destination.
In finding the path, you find yourself.
I am but a monk, but it sounds very profound to me.
Mikosh will do that kind of like staring off and then kind of staring back.
What path are you seeking? Or do you not know the path? Or do you think you know a path and you're not sure about it?
I think I've spent a lot of time seeking ways to convince myself I was on the path, and then convince myself of ways, excuses to divert from the path. I feel very lost, and I feel confused. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, because I think what I'm looking for has changed.
Uh-huh.
I sought safety, I sought strength, I sought comfort, but now I fear these things made me dull and weak. Now I'm not sure what would make me strong, what would make me sharp. But I think now I should try things I have not tried before. I feel that is the best way I can pursue my path.
I am but a monk, but those sound like destinations to me, but not the path itself. So, what is the destination you now think you seek?
A knowing of myself. But even then, your words worry me because I feel I may pursue no path, constantly looking for a path.
Sometimes a path is presented to us and we don't see it.
I believe I should find purpose in something. May it be on the path or not. I should find maybe something that is bigger than me. I've always wanted to help myself. Now I feel I'm on the company of others, and I feel a pull toward them that I should try to help them as they've helped me. I would like to try this for a little bit and see where it gets me. Helping more than just myself and what I want in the moment to moment.
Now that sounds like a path to me, not a destination.
There's beams.
But I am but a poor monk. One among many, though.
You said there are also monks in Avignon.
Yes, there are a lot. They serve the Pope.
Avignon, what is that place?
It is a castle. It is an abomination, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You didn't hear it from anyone else.
Where is this place?
Where is it?
Yes. Abomination. Where is this place?
It's in France, of course, in southeastern France. Avignon. You've never heard of Avignon?
I am a young man, and
the popes moved from Rome to Avignon, the seat of the Holy See, and some claim that they fled Rome and that they can't return for some reason.
Are they also on their path?
That's a great question.
I fear I've given you many great questions.
That's why we immerse ourselves in study, is to discover the answers to those questions, and we may never do so, but it might provide us with guidance.
The Pope is not the Pope. It's the Pope.
Thank you for your time.
Could be in France.
You see some other monks glaring at him for being so talkative. Mattias, you're in the midst of town there, leaving what you assume was an apothecary. And where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna go. My task will just wander around a bit. Just take a bit of comfort in the fact that for once, for a very brief moment in his increasingly hectic life, the world is not out to kill him in this particular moment.
No, it certainly doesn't appear that way.
It doesn't appear that way.
A large hole opens in the center of the market.
and only Matthias falls in, and then no one else.
No one else even notices. No one else even notices what happened.
Whoosh, closes up and people walk across it. Simon, you are a few minutes later. The door opens and a head pokes itself out. An unusually young person he sticks his head out and he says to you, "I'm Abbot von Winkelsheim. What may I do for you?"
May we sit?
Yes, please come in.
Well, As no doubt you've been told, my name is Simon Val.
Simon Val of Aragon, yes, I've heard.
I am a representative of the Champions of the Sun. Have you heard of us?
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
I'll be right back.
Understood.
A 10.
10. I think I've heard something of you.
Well, perhaps by the end of the story, you may either think me a madman, or perhaps I will have you on my side. I am not sure, but
Is there a reason for me to be opposed to you?
well, not opposed, but you may think I'm mad.
A madman.
Yes.
Go, who has thunk?
Yeah. I do not look hot, I know, but well, never mind.
I wouldn't go that far, but go ahead.
My group and I, we are on a mission to destroy a vampire.
Okay. He
quite-
pauses for a moment.
It is a hard thing to accept. I know we have all heard tales. No one wants to believe too much, but from what I have seen, the threat is all too real, and we are in the process of creating a weapon that is foretold to be able to destroy an evil of this magnitude. Perhaps you have read it in different texts or whatnot, but it is known as the Demon Killer. We have already found one portion in the Schloss of Kaiburg, the spearhead from the Spear of Destiny, and we seek more parts.
You have the spearhead.
Well, not on me.
From the spear of
A compatriot does.
Destiny.
Well,
You have the spearhead
yes.
of the spear that killed Christ.
It's on a loan basis.
You can see why that'd be hard to believe.
Like I said, you may believe me to be a madman by the end of my story.
Do I have to wait to the end?
No, you can believe me a madman now. That is not the point. All I request of you is that you let me look at some of your texts. I am in search.
We have hundreds, if not thousands, of texts.
Well, maybe you can point me in the right direction. I am in search of a man named Guillaume. That was a crusader, I believe. Apparently, he may have been involved in something that gave him some kind of renown. I don't know whether the information that I seek would be within your walls. I highly doubt that it is. But if you'll give me some time to look. The threat is real, I promise you. I did not believe it for many moons before it showed itself to me.
So, could I see this spearhead?
I do not have it on me, but one of my compatriots does. To what end do you need to see it?
It might make your story slightly, just perhaps slightly, more plausible.
If that is the fee for being able to access your scriptures and your texts, I will be happy to return with my compatriot who holds it. He is a man of greater stature than me, and he keeps it safe.
If you indeed have the spearhead, the spear of destiny, I will do everything I can to help you.
Well, then I suppose I shall return.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
You as well, Winkelstein. Abbot Winkelstein. Von Winkelstein.
Scheinma.
Scheinma.
Scheim.
Stein?
Yeah.
Everyone gets it wrong.
Yeah. Apologies. We have been on the road a long time. I will try to make it back before nightfall.
I'll be here.
Okay.
He escorts you out. Okay. What are you guys doing? Oh, blackout. What are you guys doing? Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick pause. There's nothing technically wrong, but we're going to take a quick pause just so I can refill my drink because that's technically wrong. I'll be right back. We're back. Thank you for watching us, and we're rejoining the party in progress. Right now, they're all kind of scattered around. Zymon's on his way back to the inn. Balder, I believe, is at the inn. Aldrick is at the inn. Mikolash is somewhere near in the abbey, and Matthias is wandering around town, contemplating the universe and how pleasant it is to him. And we rejoin the party in progress. Okay, guys, what are you doing?
Have a drink.
Okay, Aldrick is down in the tavern, and Baldrick.
We're a couple now.
And this failed
He
too.
dropped the path.
You're right. Move over, I jump in.
Okay, and Balder, you're downstairs in the tavern too? With Aldrick, you see
Sure.
Aldric there, the
If
two of
he's
you are
down
there. Krieger comes over to you. Another. Do you want another Hammerschlagen?
Nine.
Let's stick with regular beer.
Okay. Very good. These are on the house. You did such. You brought in some business last night. He
You're
brings you
welcome.
over 2
Thank
mugs. Are you going to be staying much longer?
A couple more days.
When are you going back to visit the blacksmith?
Oh,
Before you leave, or are you going to check in before that?
I can if I need to. Why?
I was interested in procuring perhaps a short sword or something.
Sure, he's got.
I'm sure he's got.
He's got a lot of nice
What
stuff.
did you think of his quality?
He's definitely a step above. He's not your average blacksmith, which is good.
That's good.
We'll see what kind of work he can produce for me, but yeah, we could definitely pick up some weapons from him.
I haven't left the tavern. You know, you guys have been out. I don't know. So,
How was your day?
I was visited by a lady friend.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, it was very nice. I think she's got a thing for me, which is unfortunate because we're going to be leaving in a few days.
You've got about 4 days to make it count.
But I want to procure a few items before we leave. I'm looking for a set of manacles, perhaps, but that's not for the lady friend. That's purely professional reasons. And, perhaps a couple of traveling items.
Matthias is wandering around the market. Let's go see if we can find him. Maybe we'll pick up some stuff.
Sounds fantastic.
Okay, you guys venture outside of the tavern and into the market. Mattias, you're kind of meandering the streets. It's not that big of a town, and you somewhat stand out. Aldrick and Balder, you do see him peering in windows from place to place. So the three of you can be in general vicinity of one another, should you want to be.
Cheat yourself.
Okay, and so you are in the general vicinity of one another.
Bandana.
Get two.
Did I give you one of these for before?
I don't think so.
There you go. I've had a brain fart there. I'm sorry about that. Okay, you guys are in the. You run into Aldrick. Mattias, you run into Aldrick and Balder in the town square.
Ah.
Well, not town square, Main Street.
Lord Mattias, well met. What news?
What?
Nothing. I've just been relaxing.
Interesting. All right.
What's wrong with you?
Pleasant.
Matthias relaxing.
Weird.
Must have been a new side of you.
Something is wrong with you.
Usually relaxes by cracking windows and stuff.
I have become very aware of the value of knowing that sometimes doing nothing is acceptable.
It's a new Zen Mattias.
I'm all for doing nothing. Still got the beer in my hand. Took from the bar.
Speaking of doing nothing, I'm looking to purchase a set of manacles. What do you suggest?
Purchase a set of what?
Manacles. Iron.
Why?
He says it's not for his lady friend, but I don't believe him.
Purely professional reasons.
I am not inclined to believe him either.
I don't understand where this is coming from.
If you could give me a good, solid, realistic, and plausible reason for why you want these manacles.
I would assume it's because
I
he's
will
not able
try
to
help.
He's not able to hold people down,
I'm not
so
a
he
grappler
wants
like
to lock.
yourself. I assume if we come across some type of thuggery or villainous person, we could bind this person and question them without, skewering them with your lance at first.
Normally we kill them, but you know.
Could go a different route.
Tying them up might be better.
I tried that with them.
I suppose that.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess with blacksmith's a good stop.
That's good. That's true. I wanted to go see the blacksmith anyway. That's a good idea. Yeah.
He might have that.
Okay, so you make your way
He
toward
might have a red room in the basement.
You make your way outside the blacksmith, and there you see he's inside arguing with his. Leave me alone! I'm trying to get work done here. You see him inside.
It was Carl.
Coral.
His name is Carl. Yes,
Carl.
Carl and Schuto Richter.
I bring some more business your way.
Oh, yes. Rita, leave me alone. Stop. I didn't buy me more flowers. Anyways.
Oh, dear.
I'm assuming she doesn't like her artwork. He made for her.
I think it's going to come out really good.
All right.
Are you back so soon?
Yeah, a friend here is looking for just a couple weapons.
What kind of weapons?
I'm seeking a very sharp short sword.
Oh, I have sharp swords. Yeah, of course. He pulls out several of them and brings them over to the table to you.
Test them from
So
balance.
sharp, some would say +1.
I'll select one that seems to feel balanced in my hands.
Okay.
Your wife, she complains a lot, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Very much so.
I'm going to pay him for the sword, I guess.
Okay. It's 8 gold.
Okay.
It's a bargain.
That is a good deal. Let me know if I could ever be of assistance in, helping out around here.
Around here?
I
work the forge.
My wife complains a lot. The sword.
Oh!
It's like twirling it.
I'll keep that in mind. Yes. I won't blow any snot on it.
I understand how things can be. Accidents happen.
Yes.
Let's keep things above board.
Yes, of course.
I mean, cost-wise, is the expression cheaper to keep?
Everything he's ever imagined is just flashing before his eyes. His dream life of
Freedom. Mama, throw mama from the train situation.
There is a reason many well-to-do men have younger brothers.
This fine physique.
Certainly.
Probably not the place to talk about.
No, of course. I'm over at the tavern.
You need me.
I'll be sharpening the new steel.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh God.
What is happening? What is happening?
Rogues be rogues, man.
Kill your wife?
Yeah, hired assassin. Man. He is an assassin.
He's an assassin.
It's a 9.
He's like,
How could you roll so low? That's
I'll
crazy.
I'll keep it in mind.
I'm not really charismatic.
I just killed people.
I'll get back to you. Anything else?
You don't happen to have any sort of manacles or handcuffs, do you?
I wish. I mean, not readily. I mean, it's not like something we have a high demand for. I mean,
Understandable.
If you ever get to Amsterdam, there's a high demand for them there. But
Well, all right.
well, it's not for criminal. But anyway, why is that something you're looking for?
You mentioned interest in it.
Purely professional reasons. Our line of work, it's very handy to be able to bind someone when extracting information.
I can make a pair. I mean, I'm busy with Boulder's project. If you can, it might take an extra day.
Should we have them gold plated also, or no?
Sure.
They want to match, right?
Yeah. Let's have a match.
Gold-plated manacles. How many sets?
One set's fine.
One. Gold-plated?
Yeah.
You want them gold-plated?
Matthews, you want a set also, or you're good?
Matthias needs 2 sets.
I'm sorry, what was your question? I couldn't understand what you said. For some reason, everything's a little bit...
We're getting sets of manacles. Would you like a set?
The person being tied up should feel.
So the manacles.
Yeah, now that I understand, I don't understand.
For the wrists.
That's the only kind I'm familiar with. Are there other types?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted it to
Sure,
like
Amsterdam
go
can
down
fill you
to
in on the other types.
a chain down to the legs, or
belt chain.
or
I think wrists are fine.
a chain that goes up around the neck,
The neck
perhaps
with the-
with,
with
a
the ball?
ball in the mouth.
I've seen those.
I
don't think that's necessary, though.
The wrist.
Not
The
here.
wrist, just the
Not
wrist.
here.
That'll be 5 gold plus use some of Baldur's gold for the filigree.
I'll give him the 5 gold.
If you want to barter about what the other stuff, let me know.
Do I want to barter?
Yeah.
Higher? Sure, I'll take 10.
You've earned it. Now I give him the 10 gold.
Very well. They'll be beautiful. They'll be gorgeous. They'll be so gorgeous that whoever you put them on will want to wear them out onto the town.
Perfect.
I am
They should
increasingly
they
suspicious
should
of the
feel
intention
honored
for these.
to be bound by all.
Yes, they'll be bound to be like,
Hey, actually, kind of
I
nice.
am increasingly suspicious of the intention for these.
We're all above the board here, Matthias.
As you probably should be, but.
My thoughts exactly.
Can we etch Klaus's name on that? Oh, I did have one other thing for my armor. I wanted to add something to the chest, an emblem of sorts. I would like this in gold right on the chest.
Surely.
And I'll kind of like take paper and like give him like an image of it, so he can make it.
Surely, we can do that.
Thank you.
Why don't you just put that into the chest?
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
I don't know how to put an image of my chest. Is a good idea either. I'm not there.
Yeah, I gotta taunt him. I have to taunt him.
Yes, certainly, I can do that. And
Right.
let me take a rubbing of it here real
Yeah.
quick. He pulls out a piece of parchment and he just makes a clean rubbing of it. And he goes, yeah, that should do it.
Should we make a holder for it?
I don't do. Why do a painting? Just put the real deal in there. Let him.
Sure, why not? Let's make it slot in there.
You want that one to slide in there. Well, let me measure it then. Do you want it fixed on there, or do you want it like removable?
We can fix it in.
Okay, well, leave it with me.
I can't leave it with you. We'll have to make a measurement, and then we can attach it when I come back.
Okay, fair enough. So he sketches it out very carefully, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no one will be able to remove this without prying it from your body."
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, very good. I mean, they'll have to tear a hole in your chest to get it off you.
I think you might tear a hole in your chest with it. It'll just by itself.
Okay, very well. Gentlemen, I have to get back to a
All right, we'll leave you to
howling
it.
wife and my hammer.
Say hello to your wife.
We'll leave you to it.
Yes, thank you. Aldrick with a K. For now.
Now.
I'll give the when we turn around, I'll give the wife 5 gold and tell her to go shopping. Leave this man alone for a while.
She takes off.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Although no one's going to stoke the fire now, but that's okay. I'll just, the peace and quiet is worth it. And he gets back to work, and you can see that he's probably about halfway through cleaning your armor off at this point. And it seems like almost seems like a new set of armor. You wouldn't have recognized all the grunge and the paint removed and so forth.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
What are you guys doing at this juncture?
Well, I suppose I'd be arriving back at the tavern, which doesn't have anybody.
You're
else
coming
in
back.
it.
You come back across the bridge. You're on the other side of the bridge, in the area where they are generally. It's not that big of an area, and you happen to see Balder, Aldrick, and Matthias walking out of a blacksmith shop.
Oh,
Simon, what have you been up to?
I went and spoke to the abbot. I told him of our endeavor.
Did he believe you?
Maybe. He has asked to see the spearhead and has claimed he will help us if I show it to him, but
Can you trust it?
he seemed a little too eager.
Do you want me to sneak into the library for you?
Do you know how to read?
No, but I could sneak and grab books.
But you wouldn't know what books to grab because you can't read the titles on the
The
spines.
big dusty ones.
Yeah, but there's a lot. Never mind.
Can you be invisible?
Well, I mean, honestly, we can show it to him. I mean, we
I
can
can.
show him the.
Well, yeah.
Spirit.
I suggest we just do so with a little bit of trepidation.
Okay.
He
You don't-
was not overtly
Yeah, but you don't
hostile
feel
or
like-
anything, but and it may just be that he desires to see a holy relic that is
Maybe he
only
read-
a rumor.
I mean, maybe he read a lot about it because this is not a very common
It is-
item we
it-
have right
it is-
now.
that is a possibility, but
He could be working for Ghazi.
well,
I'm sorry.
it's always a possibility.
It is a good point.
We
Just
haven't,
like
we
clouds.
haven't seen any of that.
Clouds.
Network.
You figured it out. You've uncovered the whole thing.
He has agreed to give me access to the
Did you think it
to
was
the
Abbot?
library.
What's that?
Did you mean
All right. Well, hey, if it's gonna help,
I'm not back.
I'm willing to take a risk.
Do a little thing.
It may. I think we can keep it safe. If things seem odd when we get there, we will just turn around.
I mean, plus,
We're leaving tomorrow,
I can
right?
always take it back. I mean, it's not too much of a risk.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, I told him we'd come back this evening. Shall we go before dinner?
I spoke to a representative. Yeah, let's go get dinner as we're walking.
No, before dinner. We'll go back to the
Oh,
abbey.
okay. Oh, because I was hungry.
Maybe we'll try something on the other side of the bridge.
Maybe a little less alcoholic.
What's the fun in that?
We can stand on our own feet.
I can stand on your feet.
Speaking of standing on our
Let's
feet,
get food on the other side.
I met with a representative of the Thieves Guild in town. They are going to look into the ferrying of magic items between
Benelux. Yeah.
and Munich and
Cornersbrook.
Yep.
Well, any bit of information we can get would be valuable. It seems, out of all things, we know the least about that.
she made a point to mention that would not be a free service, but they are the Thieves Guild after all.
Well, you have money to pay her, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, let us head to the Abbot.
All right.
And talk
Maddie,
to
you
him.
were with them, correct?
Yes, of course.
Mikolash, where are you?
So I would have left the courtyard and kind of walking slowly back across the bridge, assuming back to the tavern because I'm not keyed in on this plan.
Okay.
Just kind of thinking about what I talked to Jan about, asking myself, am I a student trying to find my path, kind of mulling that question over, like my purpose, etc. Just kind of walking, thinking those thoughts as I slowly leave the Abbot and start heading across the bridge.
Okay. As you come across the bridge, you can't help but notice your four compatriots. I mean, they do stand out. Mattias in his shiny armor, Balder with currently no armor on, probably wearing long johns, walking through. Aldrick and Simon.
With a shiny new blade.
You see the four of them.
I'm kind of working my thoughts through, like, what is my purpose? Maybe it's more than myself. My path may lie beyond just using my hands. It may lie with others.
Stop him before he walks by.
What can I do? I'm just having these thoughts.
He's looking down the
I'm
whole
just having,
time.
Yep, just having these thoughts. And it's like perfect timing.
Miko!
Huh? Hello, friends.
Hello.
You've been at the Abbot the whole time?
You haven't been at the Abbot the whole time?
No.
I left hours ago.
We're going back.
I like the Abbot.
Okay, well, to the Abbey we go.
All right.
Abbey.
Yeah.
You guys collectively venture across the bridge. The sun is not down, but it is clearly setting on the opposite side, on the fortress side of Steinam, Rhine, and you venture through the fortified city portion of it, up the path to the Abbey, and you were there at the gates. The doors are still open. You pretty much know where you were before. You can.
I'll kind of head right to the office.
Okay,
with
and you
everybody-
do?
Everybody in town. Is there anybody outside the?
No, the door is closed though.
I will politely knock.
Okay. It not instantaneously, but a few moments later, the door slowly opens, and you recognize the abbot. And he says, "Oh, you're back so soon."
You desired proof, and time is of the essence for our endeavor.
I didn't exactly think that you were going to show up, but very well.
I knew you would think me mad.
Are these more like Franciscan monks or Shaolin monks?
What is a Shaolin monk?
They do like kung fu.
Like him?
Yeah, I was gonna say what I'm wearing.
These are religious monks.
You look around as you're going through. They look like Franciscan monks. Albeit a D&D version.
Everyone.
Yes.
Come in.
Aldrick. Can I ask what your interest is in this?
You're speaking in what language?
I guess just Venturers Camp.
Okay. He replies back in Adventurers Camp, albeit somewhat broken, and because he had been speaking to you in German, and he's forgive me, my Adventurers Camp is somewhat rusty. Say your question again, please.
What specifically is your interest in this lance head?
I have no interest. Your compatriot here came and told me he requested information and told me he had the lance head. And before I go out of my way, perhaps providing, searching archives for information to give to a crazy man, I wanted to see if it was legitimate.
Understandable.
How would you know if this item he carries is legitimate?
I know what the lance head looks like from stories, and I would cast a spell to detect magic upon it, and if that's sufficient.
Careful.
No further questions.
Spells like that have caused people to go blind around us.
Detect magic?
Why did you tell me this shit? I've been using that all the time.
I'm just joking. Because we have so much stuff. It's like impossible to narrow it down. We're just a glowing beacon at this point. So I'll pull out something in like a wrapping, and it'll just have like a ton of folds. I'll just keep unfolding.
There it is.
To the point where he almost doesn't even believe there's an end to this. And then it'll reveal the lance head.
He stares at it for a long time, and you can see his eyes light up as he's staring at it, almost in disbelief. And he goes, may I?
Of course.
And he waves his hand over it. Not quite that loud.
Fireball.
And he casts a spell, and it does, and you see his eyes even grow slightly larger. And he goes, "Are you a wizard?"
Yes.
Have you identified it?
Unfortunately. It brought me great pain. I was embodied in it. I was thrust into his side. The pain was excruciating for both myself and for him. I barely made it out.
Guillaume is a rather interesting character. I'm surprised, actually, that none of you had heard of him before. You appear to be a knight of some sort. There was a very famous Guillaume de Beaujeu, also known as William of Beaujeu. He was, and if you don't mind me asking, who are you all? I've met Simon. You are?
I am Baldur.
Aldrick. With a K. For now.
Aldrick with the K for now.
Mikolash.
Mikolash, and
And the quiet one. I am surprised.
That is Matthias of Bathory.
Matthias of Bathory.
Yeah.
The quiet night.
He's been very reflective. It is the first time in a long time that he has not had to battle, and he's
And
appreciating
it
his
is very pleasant.
Matthias
He's
of
found inner
Bathory.
peace.
Bathory of Carpathia.
Yes.
And
Why?
you have not heard of William of Peugeot?
Of who?
And you have not heard of Guillaume de Peugeot?
Out of character, should I do a check to see whether or not I would have heard of this fellow?
You rack your brains. Do an investigation check, sure.
Okay.
Guillaume de Bergeron.
Okay. Investigation +3. Natural 20.
This monk is a stronger wizard. Can he identify without dying?
Guillaume, also known as William of Peugeot,
We get him killed.
was the 21st Grand Master of the Knights Templar.
Ooh. Guillaume de Bergeron.
Yes, I know who he is.
He is buried, supposedly,
Supposedly.
Acre rests Guillaume. The Royal of Anjou died. Acre rests Guillaume. The Royal of Anjou died. You've never heard that expression before?
I may have, but I simply do not recall it at the moment.
Some say it's an acronym.
Interesting.
Where is he buried?
buried Ucarest something.
I'm sorry?
I tried writing it all down fast.
He says,
Where is he
Acre
buried?
rests Guillaume. Royal Anjou died. Acre rests Guillaume, the Royal of Anjou died.
Oh, I know Anjou
Acre
means it.
rests Guillaume, Royal Anjou died.
Right, honestly.
Yes. How did you get the lance from the Spear of Destiny?
We are the champions of the sun.
We helped hold back a siege at and they happened to be in possession of it, and I made a trade.
We are the friends of popes and emperors.
Yes, you must be someone very, very powerful. I'm honored to meet you. I'm sorry if I was disbelieving of you, Simon.
Well,
we have told this tale many a times, and
You've told many a people that you're walking around with the Spearhead of Destiny.
about the vampire.
Oh.
And mostly it's met with disbelief. We try not to tell too many people about.
Where is this vampire you're trying to kill?
Well, where is he?
Osman Ghazi
Osman Ghazi.
is his name.
Osman Ghazi?
No.
Yes. He was in possession of this, which I'm sure you've seen in books, most
Bayek,
likely.
the emperor
Yes.
of the Ottomans. You're trying to kill
Came close.
before he overruns all of Europe.
That's the plan.
He's going
He
over
is-
Europe and under Europe at the same time.
His vampiric forces are currently tunneling under Europe while he builds his army above. There's some nasty creatures.
You may, of course, look over our library. I don't know what you're looking for exactly. I mean...
I will not either until I find it, I'm afraid.
I mean, Guillaume is a very, very famous... If it's the same Guillaume that you're speaking of...
Where is the resting place of you?
Well, supposedly Akka. But, I mean, I don't know if you believe that.
Have you ever heard of Arca? Arca?
I do not believe so.
Where's Arca?
Akka? Where is
I'm
Akka?
inclined to believe most things now, after what I've seen.
Akka is north of Jerusalem. It's in the Holy Land.
Far away.
It's where the siege, it was the last holdout of the Crusaders. They held out against all odds until they were overrun.
I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. No.
Well, if you believe that he's actually buried there, that is.
Where was Guillaume from? Where were his ancestral homes?
Oh, I don't know that. I mean, perhaps that might be buried in some tomb somewhere.
Are there other stories that say otherwise? Or suggest otherwise?
I mean, supposedly, I mean, if you believe, I've only heard rumors, and I did look it up after you left, since you mentioned Guillaume, and he's probably the most notable crusader with the name Guillaume. I mean, Grand Templar.
Yeah.
I mean, rather a Grand Master. I mean, how much? It doesn't get. When I was about to say much higher, it doesn't get any higher than that. I mean, supposedly, he met a woman, Karodinitse, or something like that. The two became lovers. Yet, for some reason, he scorned her, keeping the theory that hell hath no no fury like a woman scorned. And supposedly she cursed him. To make the deal, to break the curse rather, he made a deal with something powerful.
We've heard rumors of
perhaps a
the
demon.
Knights Templar in the past made some kind of agreement with a force that's seek destruction instead of salvation. Perhaps this is when that deal was made. Perhaps he is the one that made the deal, and that is his sin.
Well, if he did in fact make a deal, it would be a huge sin. I mean, he had pledged himself to God.
How does that tie into the lands?
It is his sin which binds the pieces together. Whether his body truly rests where it rests, or it was transported somewhere else, we'll have to try to decipher. Otherwise, we collect all the pieces and head back to where Ghazi is and hope to collect the last piece on our way there. This is a lot. I will be back in the morning.
Thank you for showing me that spearhead.
Of course.
If you wouldn't mind bringing it back before you leave, just so that we could pay homage to it. I mean, it is. I'm sure what you do is noble, and you were given it for the right reason. But I would still like to honor it in some way, if that makes sense.
It doesn't. But okay.
You guys are all there. Anything else? Everybody have a good time?
This is a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Wasn't what I had planned. There's all kinds of minis back here. But it's all good.
We didn't do it for the mini.
Huh? Didn't do it.
We didn't do it for the minis.
No, it went.
We did it for
Everything
the
went.
RP.
You guys did some things that I didn't expect, which was cool. I think actually, there's a lot of nuggets woven in there that probably will take some time to digest, and to figure out what it all means. But I think you actually advanced some of it a little bit, so that's really cool. Simon, Jess, did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a fabulous time.
What was your highlight?
The whole night. I felt like it was kind of Zymon's night to like really get into things. I like being able to recap everything. I feel like it might have brought Chris a little more into the fold because he's been kind of on the outside. As I remember being a new player and not knowing what was going on with the story and whatnot. I liked being able to release that information through roleplay instead of just like information dump.
I don't like information dumps. I mean,
You know?
and I think it also gets lost in translation too.
Yeah.
So sometimes you guys all know that I subscribe to the rule of threes, and so sometimes things have to be given three different ways until you actually process the information and understand it. So, but that's just me. Everybody does it differently. So. I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you for the adventure log. And it was very interesting because I thought things were going to go in a slightly different direction based upon some things you had written in there. So, which is all good. I hope I never, I know I have occasionally railroaded you guys, but I hope I never make it so blatantly obvious that it's painful or something like that. So I do appreciate
I've never
it.
felt that way.
You are still 11, correct?
Unless you're giving me like a 9,000
No.
experience points.
2,500 though, sir. Okay. You're not that far away. Ryan, did you have a good time?
Of course. The whole night was great. I loved all the RP. All of it was fun. But yeah, getting a whole new set of armor was on my to-do list, so that's fun. But yeah, just had a good time.
So, what the? I don't understand what all the noises are. Oh, I know what happened. We just lost one camera. And we lost this, and it seems to be consistently.
So is this one?
This camera. So we just got a new subscriber.
Hey.
Louis Calvo just subscribed. Thank you, Louis Calvo.
Welcome.
See, it does pop up on the screen.
Now that you've subscribed, you'll see the second camera pop up in a moment.
Well, you are an optimist. You are an eternal optimist. So I think what worked before is I shut it off, and then I turned it back on again, and then I put it to the right setting, and sometimes it comes back.
There you go.
And there it is. Okay.
Was it the subscription? Was it you resetting it?
Hey, thank you for subscribing. You reset our camera. That's awesome. So, Ryan, 1,500 experience points. If I didn't give it to you. Joe, did you have a good time?
Good time, yes, sir.
What was your highlight?
It was all very. Everybody had their thing today. A lot of Jess, a lot of Chris. Ryan and I did some stuff. I was digging Melomatius today. I was digging that, yeah.
Not yelling at everything the entire time.
I'm all being restored.
And the purple hair?
Yeah.
The blue hair?
Yeah, the blue
It's having an effect, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes.
Oh, we got another subscriber.
Fabulous. All right.
Brian, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
That's what that noise is.
Yeah, that's what that noise is. That's cool.
Welcome.
Brian Ray, thank you for joining us on YouTube. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so yeah, I'm looking forward to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Aldrick will have some fun with it.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I like the interaction that you had with the Thieves Guild representative.
And I'm loving the new Baldrick.
Yeah.
Buddy cop.
Buddy cop.
You are still level 10, correct?
Yes.
2,500 experience points. So.
Me and Born tried it and failed, so we got to make it work this time.
There you go. Chris, do you have a good time? What was your highlight, if there was one?
So, Mikolash's highlight was definitely that conversation with Johan. Johann. Just getting a little bit more into his own headspace, kind of like taking a second to think about things and about the path and about the situation, about what he's doing. But for me as a person, I really liked getting a taste of the world that you build. It was really, I have pages of notes, at least 2 written, and I have stuff I'm gonna have to write when I get home. It was really cool getting a taste of that, just seeing what you've come up with the guys have been doing, and how it's all kind of intertwined in a very large way.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you very, very much. It's very, very cool to see where you're going with what your character is doing there.
Yeah, he's figuring it out on the fly, so it's going to be interesting for everyone.
So I hesitate to say what I'm about to say, but you feel free to use the adventure log and hook mechanism that's built in there if you want to expand on anything. You don't. When I say I hesitate, it's because I don't want it ever to feel like, I know Brian sometimes says it feels like homework. I don't want it ever to. It's a tool for you if there's something that I'm supposed to be gleaming that you want in terms of how you want your character to go in a certain direction. It's not a recap of a session. It's because I know what happens. I can watch a session, as painful as some of them are for me to watch, especially after technical nightmares. But it's a tool to kind of outline what your character thought, and then the hook element is to kind of tell me things that you want, a direction you want to go, or something you want to do, or something you want to plan to do for your character. So feel free to do that or not do that, as the case may be, which is both good. So I hope you had a good time. And you're still level 7, and so 4,500 experience points, sir.
Wow.
Well, it's still big while the separation is there.
Yeah, when you're 5 levels lower than
because I don't really, there's no real fair way to do it otherwise. I mean, I've tried just keeping people at the same level, and it doesn't really work.
No, I think it works good because it brings people up fast enough. And
yeah, I mean, imagine like 15 sessions in, he's level 5, and everything still kills him.
that would totally,
like, you know what I mean?
That would totally suck.
I think it works.
And I did want to just hammer in that the max HP is 46. I don't want to get that.
Understood. Max HP is 46, not 51. Understood. Reiner, did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your highlight, sir?
I didn't have one in particular, one specific one. I just enjoyed the fact that we had a relatively calmer moment, because we don't seem to have those all the time. You know?
I'm surprised we haven't flipped the town upside down and killed everyone yet.
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't expect that, but
we've only been here a day.
But I also didn't expect.
Maybe we don't do it. Maybe we cause it.
Blacksmith's wife almost died today. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, she's still up in the air.
That scared me.
Because she's still here for 4 days.
4 days. It's still an option.
Still, it hasn't closed. That door hasn't closed yet. Reiner, 1,500 experience points, sir.
Thank you,
guys. Thank you very much. I had a good time. Thank you for watching the Seven-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. Again, we would like to thank, and we're required to thank, Sirenscape for the use of their audio sound effects. It cut out only 4 times tonight. Just being honest with you. I love the sound effects, but your product constantly fails on me. So I did the obligatory thank you that I'm required to do for your website. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize them via the @ Yenu Draws on Instagram, @ Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. I think I'm gonna, not on you, I think I'm gonna probably create a new Baldur, if you don't mind, with a.
I was thinking on doing it, but you're welcome to take the wheel.
Please comment in the Twitch chat room. I probably will. On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Please, while we do this strictly for fun, please know that there's absolutely no other reason we would do this other than for fun. Please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow us on Twitch, on Instagram. Please like on Facebook, on YouTube. And to our folks who just subscribed tonight and we saw it pop up on the screen, Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that. As we leave you, please, I'm going to bypass my periodic diatribe and make my the folks at the table suffer through it 2 weeks from now, because this stream, you guys, I'm eternally grateful for you guys chiming in and what have you. I really, really do appreciate it. It's part of the love that I do this for. But I think that, honestly, with all the technical problems, nobody's going to get that far in this stream when they watch it on YouTube. So I will end my diatribe there. Always remember, in the Carpathian Adventure, the journey is the destination. And even though we didn't kill a darn thing tonight, we went 12 minutes over. So we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die and have a great night. Thank you, guys.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!